Come with the chant down Babylon one more time. Babylon is coming down, baby. Come with the chant down Babylon one more time. Can you feel the natural mystic in the air? Oh, them soft, yes, them soft, they all soft. Come with the chant down Babylon one more time. Good morning, everybody. Happy Monday. Them see the aspirations and coming in front of their face, is in your face, and destroy all their wicked intentions to destroy the human race. How I know, Active 1870, how I know, Invention Security Act 1951, how I know, reggae music. Oh, Stacy, good morning. Come with Stacy chanting down Babylon one more time. And Rebecca. Oh, Babylon is falling, people. Oh, do we got to talk today? We got a bunch of stuff to talk about today. Good morning. Come with the chant down Babylon. IFO 2020. Whistleblowers coming out of the woodworks. Down Babylon. Real solutions. Them solved, because they got no answers. Them solved. Come with the chant down Babylon one more time. Oh, we got to talk about IFOs today. I just listened to a whistleblower blowing my mind. Please talk to me. Bring a force of the Rasta man. Educating. How I know is how I know is how I know we can be free. Everybody, we can be free. Because you just got to chant down Babylon. Not cheer up Babylon. Chant down Babylon. Reggae music. Chant down Babylon. Good morning, everybody. Ooh, happy Monday. Good morning. Ooh, did I have an epiphany? I had an epiphany this morning, and I need to ask the question, how come in your 2020 elections, none of your presidents was talking about that? That's what I want to know. Hang on. I'm getting banned all over social media. This is ridiculous. But it's a great thing. That's how you know you're saying something important. If Babylon is not banning you, if you just posting away, you don't have any problems, you're the problem. When you find people being shadow banned and twisted and bent and kicked around, you're probably onto something. But I tell you what, Facebook let me out, didn't they? They let me out. Negro free. Watch out, everybody. Negro free. Good morning, everybody. I guess I contested them and it worked. I contested them and said, listen, you didn't understand the post. Learning software banned me, and you don't understand that you didn't read it. Please go back and read the post. I said, Bittner was a bad guy. I have to say that Bittner was a bad guy. He was not a good guy. He was a bad guy. Please read my post. Please try to catch up. Bittner was a bad guy, and people today supporting a bad guy should probably stop. If you know a bad guy. Well, I tell you what, the voters, they hot today, ain't they? They out there, boy, I tell you. But they ain't got nothing to solve, people. They ain't got nothing for you. Active 1871. Oh, let my friends out too, because my friends shared the post. I felt bad. I felt a little bad. I did a little bit. The Bittner post, because I put the Bittner. And the Bittner post, yeah, it's showing up right. I'm looking at the text. Every time I say Bittner, it doesn't say it right. Bittner, because you can't talk about Bittner. Bittner. I can say Bittner all I wanted. Oppressing people's bad. The name doesn't matter, but if they can read it in your text through the caption software, you're gonna get in trouble. They're gonna block that post. They have no interest in you. But people go back and read the post, then they let you out of incarceration. They let me out of incarceration. Only temporary, I'm going back in, people. I ain't done. I talk solutions. I don't have time. I don't have time for games. I talk solutions. Now, good morning. Whew, gosh, goodness gracious. That's how you know that you're doing something right now. I gotta go ahead and find the Facebook comments. Good Lord, I buried this. I was done. I was like, you know what, you bastards. I think I deleted the Facebook comments. They're down here somewhere. Wait a minute, let me find them. I completely took it off the things. I was like, man, I ain't got time for these people. I like solutions. I don't like games. You know, I was literally texting with my brother for about 10 hours this morning. 10 hours, 10 straight hours. He's just trying to find excuses to get me out there to vote. I was like, man, you have no idea what you're doing. You have no idea. I read too much. That's my problem. I should stop reading. I should stop reading and damn it, stop thinking about free energy, people. Everybody could be free. Come on, everybody. Look, y'all looking all bright and perky-eyed, purty this morning in your icons. Ooh, boy, dang, I'm supposed to look for the Facebook comments. Where the Facebook guy? You know, maybe Facebook changed their mind. Maybe they're gonna change their evil ways. Google hasn't yet. Google, they haven't reversed that. What did they think that they changed? They had a slogan said, "Don't be a bastard and evil and foul, funky, dirty, filthy, gross." It's something like that, and they took that. They changed their model. Said, "No, that can't be our mission statement. We got to be evil." And they said, maybe Facebook has changed. I tell you what, people. You want to get behind those on the right side of history. Those on the right side of history. I gave my brother a hard time this morning too, because I was like, listen, if you don't want to stand up for my nieces, that's all right. I'll stand up for my nieces. I got their back. I do anything to make sure that they live free. I do anything to make sure any child lives free. I do anything to make sure my kids live free. I'm a little tired this morning. Good morning, everybody. Whew. Oh, is that Jay? Good thing it's Jay's here. Jay served. Jay served. Jay understand. Jay served in the United Rothschilds military. I came from a military family. We're going to talk about the IFOs this morning. Oh my goodness, this whistleblower blew my mind. People, the only reason the conflict still exists, the only reason the kids out in them streets going crazy and nuts and burning stuff down is not because you need more police. It's not because anything other than the fact that we keep things from people that they need to not turn violent. All right. Come on. Ooh, hang on. Let me get the comments. Where the heck is the comments at? It's way down here. I think I pushed it to the bottom of this thing. I have software and the comments come in and all the little Facebook things, and there it goes right there. And I pushed it all the way to the bottom. Said, we done with this. I got 60 days, baby. They didn't get me with a small one. They're like, no, we're gonna put you deep in that person. We're gonna put you deep under the United States Rothschild Facebook incarceration facilities for talking about free energy and freeing people and Bittner. Don't be a Bittner. Don't be a Bittner. Ooh, that actually brings me into today. So let me move y'all down over here. Bria, today's topic. I gotta tell you what happened this weekend. Oh, we had some drama at the house this weekend. I gotta tell you all this because it fits right in with today's. All right, there's the comment thing, and it's probably a thingy I gotta press or something. I gotta cog a twiggy or something. I gotta flip a lever or something to make the comments come in. And then we get started. Good morning, pretty people. Good morning, pretty people. Yeah, my brother, he was getting into, well, maybe you should just vote on the local level. And I even had one for that. I said, first, you know, so the United States Incorporated, I ain't voting for no corporation. That's just not gonna happen. I'm not a commodity. I'm not a Cogswell cog. I'm not a spaceless rocket. I'm not your slave, and I damn sure ain't your commodity. And then underneath that was, he said, well, you should vote on the state level. I said, well, maybe if I was in the right state, the state I'm in is bought, sold, paid for by the Rothschilds, Rockefellers. Oh, y'all can't share. Hang on, because it's on friend only. Let me put it on public. Because everything I do is public. I have no interest in hiding secrets, hiding reality. Question. Well, I had a question while I'm trying to get this to work. All right, be honest with you. The only time I don't sing is just not when I start this. Okay, I also sing on the toilet. I sing on the toilet and I sing in the shower. I don't know why. Don't ask me why. Actually, that's a good point. Now I'm thinking about it this morning. That's why I caught my son singing on the toilet. When he was about 4, he was singing on the toilet. He was, I'm not afraid. I'm not gonna tell you which one, but I tell you what, during his wedding, I'm gonna play that tape. I still got the tape. It was the video. And I sing on the toilet. And don't they say that copyright law supersedes national laws? I think somebody told me that. Is that true? Is that hashtag fake news? I didn't put together whole orchestral entire albums on the toilet. I put together entire albums. If the NSA has my songs from my recorded voice, from my phone, from me singing on the toilet, changed some words. I did some, who's the guy who used to take them songs and change the words to them? Yankovic. I did me some Yankovic's. Does that mean I can sue the NSA? Can we sue the NSA if they have our song and we start copyrighting the songs that we make up that they store in their databases? Doesn't copyright law supersede national law? I think it does. I think it does. You need to get them anyway because they got all them naked children. Yep, they got all them people. You sitting on the toilet talking on that phone, playing on Facebook. You gonna fit somebody on the toilet right now. I know somebody. I guarantee you. Guess what? Guess what? Learning software is recording what you ate last night exiting your body. They're recording everything that you're saying. And if you put the phone down when you wipe, they got all the juicy details. And that's pornography to me. That's crazy. All right, anyway, let me see. Here we go. All right, we're ready to go. They go to comments. Whoo, Sherry, boy, I tell you what, we're going to talk about not aliens today. Not aliens another day. I love the alien topic, but right now we got people being violent. The whole reason why all wars, all conflict, from racial to political to I don't know why people still fighting with this Donald Trump thing. All right, there we go. We're done. All right, we're ready to get started. Good morning, everybody. Hey, good morning. Christine is in the house. Trisha's in the house. Robert Walker is in the house. Got to turn on my surround sound for this. Oh Lord, Robert Walker. Are you at work? You in slavery, man? Don't turn me on no. Listen, no, don't do that. You gonna get fired. You might get fired today. All right, let me change it. Let's get started. Good morning, everybody, beautiful people. With talk music. Put on the talk music. Woo, woo. All right, couple things. Put this together. There's a whole lot of stuff in my mind. It's raining outside, so we may not have a whole lot of slavery today. This might be a long one. We got to talk. So I kept telling my brother, so he just kept going back and forth. What are you gonna do? Like, remove my consent? But what are you gonna do? Remove my consent. But what are we gonna do? We need a solution. Reclaim your birth certificate. But what are we gonna do? Unregister to vote. What are we gonna do? Stop cheering criminals and pedophiles and people blowing up stuff, killing grandmama and stealing land and resources and hiding technology. But what are we gonna do? Stop voting for Babylon. And finally he started getting quiet again. But you're not gonna tell us what we're gonna do. I was like, brother, you can do anything you want to do. Do you, bro. Do you. I'm going to tell you what. I have no time for killers and colonizers and people with mass incarcerations, not saving no children, not saving no grandmamas, poisoning the population. And finally, it occurred to me that we had a commonality. So, you know what? Let's try to. Because when you talk to people, y'all, you got to find the commonality. Try to find something that you have in common to say something that means something to them. So I sent this meme right here. They might appreciate this one, but I know a lot of other people won't appreciate it too. Because everybody knows somebody killed by the United States Incorporated, British Incorporated, with your wholly owned subsidiaries, with Canada Incorporated, the Rothschilds and Rockefellers and trillionaire families. Then you done killed. My name is Inigo Montoya, but I said change the name. My name is Gerard Montoya. You killed my father. Prepare to die. Prepare to die. Go and prepare to die. And it's not a violent death. It's going to be a walk-away death. Stop believing in Babylon. Walk away. Walk the hell away. Run, jump, skip, fall, do whatever, and leave all that paper, that money, the fiat currency, and the crap, all that artificial stuff behind. That's what you do. You do. And a lot of people killed by this. And we got to go back to the shutdown. Right? Because all the grandmas, 30 to 60,000 grandmas, they put together in these nursing homes during flu season. They all caught the flu, so they're saying between 30 and 60,000 grandmamas died. Some of y'all need to change the name and the father part. Say, hello, my name is Beaufont Savant. You killed somebody's grandmama, prepare to die. That's who we need to be, people. That's who we need to be. All right. So I sent him that. I'm not sure if that meant anything. He got quiet. But he's in slavery, so all right. Couple things happened. Had a little drama on the homestead this weekend. A little drama. I was out fixing the pony. I was putting a new radio in the pony. I wish I could read the comments, y'all, but this is gonna take a minute. So I am gonna read the comments. I can't go back to the earlier comments. I like to greet people. You're supposed to greet grown people when they come in the room. So y'all gonna have to just accept my apologies for this. Who was that? Riley J. Riley J did a great video this weekend. If y'all don't follow Riley J, damn it, I would tell you to post your real names or your other name or your profile name. She didn't have about 30 profiles. Y'all should follow her. She did a great video this weekend on you being a slave. You being a slave and reclaiming your sovereignty and stop voting for slavery. And this is actually falls right in line with that. And it was good. And she did like, it was like 5 minutes now. Well, it was about 10 because she did some singing at the end. What is it with people who sing in all of this? All right, did I share it? I shared, I did that. Right, I'm on the homestead. So guess what? This what happened. I can show you a picture. So I was out there putting the radio on the pony and I cut myself up. Boy, I tell you what, I done got Band-Aids and stuff. And I show you my knee and got a Band-Aid there. I done cut myself all up this weekend. I was trying to put the horse in the radio in the stolen car because all cars are stolen. And I cut my finger by hitting the thing, and I was cleaning out this thing, and I cut my leg. And when you was bleeding, when you did field stripping, because I cut the whole knuckle off, like it was not playing. I was down in there, and this is an older car, so this is real metal. This ain't that fake plastic, it's real metal. And I cut, blood was squirting out. It's everywhere. I tell you what, y'all should watch my videos and y'all should share them, because I'm like Tim the Toolman Taylor. I might die any day. Any day. I can die any day. I'm going to tell you, because I'm also looking at stepping up my essential oils game. I was looking at distillers this weekend because I figured that I need to make essential oils for now. And the way I'm making them is not working out right. The hole in the stove stuff. You got to get a distiller. I got a distiller. So I was getting a distiller. And so when I was looking at the distillers, I realized you can make moonshine with distillers, so you can make jungle juice. The only problem is them things like to blow up. People ask, well, what is jungle juice? Jungle juice, any damn thing you can make, just make people just be okay with zombies outside in the apocalypse. People out there trying to get forced animal tissue or monkey tissue in their bodies because somebody told you that that's going to cure you and make you feel better. We might need jungle juice and moonshine in the apocalypse, in the great collapse. So I might die anytime. You share my video because the thing might blow up and I might die making moonshine. I almost died bleeding out in the car with the radio. It's another way I'm supposed to die. I could have died this weekend. I'm almost always dying. Gotta live life, people. Oh, right, because I was talking to my son. We went to go see a movie last night. He got school today, which is why I'm a horrible father. My father never took me to see a movie. Late movie, the next day we got school. But I really don't care about your indoctrination center. Which is another thing I told my brother this morning. This man, does he just jump around to different points? It's all connected. I'm trying to get it out, man. Just pick up what you can pick up. The Department of Education, he said, well, just vote for the Department of Education post. And I'm just like, dude, they're a division of Babylon. If you got United States Incorporated and you got a United States of Education, they're not there for you. They're not there for the children. They're not there to educate. They're there to indoctrinate. There's for the reason that it's hard to talk to you to explain how the laws told you that your votes don't matter. Riley said that too this weekend. There's a difference between voting and elections. They're not connected. They don't have to be. And there's no law that has to connect them. Riley, that post was about you this morning a little bit. I asked people I vote 1 minute after you show me the legislation that says my vote counts. All right. So Department of Education, so it doesn't matter. I'm not even gonna vote for that because all they do is indoctrinate people. And that's why it's so hard to talk to zombies today. I was talking to my son. Right, the other way I'm supposed to die. It's all connected. He had school, Department of Education come back. So we were in the car talking about the garden. I need to get him out there picking potatoes because I didn't tell him yet this mostly gonna be picking rocks. Not Slavery is a choice, people. It's a choice. He decided that he wants me to still be his father, so I'm gonna use him for slavery. That's why people had lots of kids in the past and why the Rothschilds took away your birth certificate and made you wholly owned commodities of the United States Incorporated in all caps on your birth certificate because you're dead on arrival. So I'm gonna use him for slavery for picking potatoes in the garden. And he was talking about the big plan. Dad, what about that big plan? I said, that's a caster, son. The castor plant. I took pictures on my profile, the one that grows to be 15 feet 1 year. They use it for biofuels, son. So we gonna use that to make some biofuels. And we got in that discussion. And so I might die making biofuel too. That could happen. That's probably gonna happen. He knows that his father done crazy stuff. We make solar panels and wind vanes and we do all kind of crazy stuff. Solar hot air heaters. I'm about to die in all kind of ways. So bringing it all back. Those are ways I'm gonna die. I gotta tell you about the drama the drama this weekend. Right, no, this is not my neighborhood, by the way. I put that up there and I said I gotta tell you about the drama, and I bet you somebody said, do it! Gerard is CIA. No, I am not. I do not get no paychecks from them. If I am, they don't pay me. No, drama in the neighborhood. So, because I was listening to this whistleblower and this all fit together. My neighbor came over to me because I was sitting in the horse. It's just crazy how I just gave you 20 minutes of just gobbledygook, but it'll fit together when you put it all together in the end. And my neighbor came over to talk to me. I hope she don't watch this. Oh my goodness, my neighbors watch me, I'm gonna be in trouble. I'm telling you. So my neighbor has a new dog, little beagle, out there running around. She take it out there walking. My other neighbor got a big poodle, little old elderly beagle, and she walks him out there, rescue dog, and big aggressive poodle. The poodle then chased my kids to the bus stop. So my kids know how to run. And I know I laugh at it. Somebody probably like, are you laughing at a dog chasing your vicious dog chasing your child? Honestly, you know how many times I've been chased by dogs as children? I think it's good for them. It's how you say, grandmama, get them kids out there running, not sitting on there playing. My kids been chased by dogs, and so have I. Most of my life, I've been chased by dogs as a child. And the poodle, well, it never really got him. It kind of got his book bag once. He said, Dad, I was running, and the poodle grabbed a book bag and just tried to drag me back. Poodles are vicious, y'all. So, right, she was walking her little dog, and the dog was walking, and the poodle somehow got out the house and jumped in the air, landed on the beagle dog, just started tearing it up. She was mad and screaming, and so she's well, I'm not gonna say what she does for a living, but she know how to scream. I'm gonna say that she know how to scream. So, and I was at slavery, so I didn't know any of this. That's why she was telling me, and all she did, she was hitting the dog. Bloody murder! And I'm gonna tell you what, across my garden, I mean, it's damn near probably about my garden, the field, and the neighbor's house. It's about a quarter of a mile. Two men came running from a quarter of a mile. She was screaming so loud. And there's a business around the corner. A guy came running from there. Somebody called the police. They thought they was killing somebody out there. It's what you're supposed to do when there's problems in the neighborhood and drama. When you hear people screaming, you're supposed to help them. Bad things happening. And so everybody came flocking, helped get the dog free. And the reason I'm giving you that example is if you saw a burning house when somebody in the neighborhood needs some help, do you go help? Hopefully some of y'all said yes. Hopefully some of y'all said yes. If you see your neighbor's house, you see some lights. You know they're not watching TV. Do you go see what's going on to help and see what's going on? Hopefully you do. If you see the neighbor's house on fire, hopefully you help. You hear somebody screaming in the neighborhood, help. Say if you are, here we go. Say if you are not Inigo Montoya, get rid of the fire. Say this is your neighborhood. Say this is your neighborhood. Say, no, let's get rid of the IFO, which is why nobody should be in slavery right now. And they're not talking about it during the election debates, which makes significant. They go to patent. Some people already know what this is right here. They already know what that is. That's the Invention Secrecy Act. That's what your government will not talk about because you're not a government. You're a government corporation. They enslave you. Please stop voting for your own slavery. If this is your neighborhood and you see a flash at this little planet, say right about here, it's like, pew! There's a nuclear weapon went off. And you knew there wasn't nobody mature on that planet. Some of y'all already know what I'm talking about. You see a flash coming from a planet, so you know that the parents ain't home. You know ain't nobody mature on that damn planet. Ain't nobody in government know how to deal with flashes called nuclear weapons. Would you send help? Would you call the police? Or would you go to that little neighborhood, that little house, and try to see if you can't help? Because you know the parents ain't home. And they call it the human race, and they just invented nuclear weapons. Would you go check on them? Ooh, that feeds into today. All right, let me play this real quick. This is brother Mark McCandlish. Y'all know Mark McCandlish? Is the UFO military or alien? Riley, you should know. You should already know the answer to that question. I've said it many times, and he about to tell you too. He about to tell you too. Let me go find this brother real quick. It is a whistleblower apocalypse. It is a literal whistleblower apocalypse. People are coming out of the woodworks trying to explain to you that the levels of technology we have are so far beyond what any conflict on this planet should be. Right? There should be no children who are born in a ghetto who feel that they have to burn down neighborhoods for hope. There should be no children where they got to join Black Lives Matter, Antifa to get attention and yelling and screaming. There should be no parents tag along with the kids under 26 burning down cities to loot cities for resources that they should have by default of birth. There should be no children born in the Appalachian Mountains or a trailer park who feel they have to join the Ku Klux Klan or skinheads or white natchez just to get a little bit of love because the mom is working so much and dad ain't around. Yeah, I always have to link those two together. I'm here for the children, people. We are all here for the children. That's our number one job, is the next generation, period. So let me play this a little bit. Just a little bit.
Subscribe. Also find us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and coasttocoastam.com.
Y'all hear that?
Become a Coast Insider for ad-free access to thousands of shows you'll really enjoy.
Mark McCandlish grew up with an interest in aircraft and other modes of transportation from a very early age. He joined the Air Force and later made use of the GI Bill to attend the Art Center College of Design. He later worked for a short time in the Hollywood special effects business as a matte artist and then was hired by the General Dynamics Corporation in California as a technical illustrator and technical publications editor. Now, during this time, Mark also was given the opportunity to participate in a number of media orientation rides in frontline U.S. Air Force and Air National Guard fighters such as the F-15 Eagle and the F-16 Fighting Falcon. In 1986, Mr. McCandlish became aware that the U.S. military was in possession of some extraordinary technologies and began to pursue his own private research into where it came from, how it works, and this research led to many strange events and encounters for him. Mark is back on Coast to Coast AM. Hey, Mark, it's been well over a year. How are you?
Good, George. Thank you so much for having me back.
Oh, my pleasure. Lots I want to talk with you about, especially this kind of information that you were able to get. But I just find out in some of our notes that you are a staunch believer in our mass consciousness, mass prayer experiments.
Yes, absolutely.
No,
I've seen evidence of that in my own life, and I've seen evidence of it in some of the things that you've done on the air. In fact, I knew Elizabeth Targ personally. She was an acquaintance of mine. I was a friend of her husband, Mark Cummings. Mm-hmm. And as you probably know, she was the daughter of Russell Targ, who worked with Hal Puthoff at SRI
Right.
to start up the technical remote viewing program a number of years ago. But in fact, I met her right before she was unfortunately diagnosed with the brain cancer that ultimately ended her life. And was
what I'm gonna do real quick though, I'm gonna skip past the beginning portion of this interview, and the reason why is the first 9 minutes before they even talk about UFOs, before they talk about the technology that all the superpowers have that they keep from the people, these EMG devices and patents that for the TR-3B and these devices, these are patents even on the internet, you can look it up. He talked about this lady who's suffering from liver cancer. He's talking about mass prayer. And it was interesting to me too, because I always appreciate people who can put their priorities first. First of all, prayer has already been proven to be effective by science. If you follow science, you know, not science, but real science. Not that crap the Rockefellers give you. That we are manifestation creatures, the placebo effect, the nocebo effect. You have the ability to heal. That's already been proven by science. Mind is over matter. He spent the first 9 minutes telling everybody to pray for this woman who was having liver cancer. And this is an old one, but I'm gonna skip past that. I'm gonna get right to the meat. I found it interesting that I think you'll find that you gravitate towards people of a like mind who get their priorities straight. And it was beautiful. I ask y'all to watch the whole video. I posted a link to
The work at hand here. How did you become aware?
First of all, is the sound okay? Somebody answer that question. I don't want to play it unless you can hear it. I appreciate this brother because he's a professional. I appreciate the 1,000 or so other whistleblowers who confirm what he's about to tell you because they're professionals. I appreciate them because they, like me, which I grew up in a military family, going to all the air shows, going on base, and realizing that the level of technology in the public domain is not the level of technology in the quiet domain. Okay, we're good on sound. Thank you so much.
Of some of the...
What if I told you could go back 50? Yes, 50 generations of your family that you won't find in any books or photos because...
I choose a good commercial.
These extraordinary technologies that the military possessed.
Well, in the early 1980s, I had been contacted by a fellow who was an Air National Guard pilot with the Missouri Air National Guard. I think he was based in St. Louis, but he actually worked at an advertising agency in Los Angeles, and I was doing a number of illustrations for the Lockheed Corporation through their advertising agency in LA. In fact, I was living near LA at the time, and he indicated that there was this process available where people who were involved in media and media advertising and any sort of publications in the media that had to do with the aerospace industry were good candidates for what they called media orientation rights. And this is something that you see baseball players and mayors and things, they'll go up with the Blue Angels or the Thunderbirds or one of these teams. But there's also the opportunity through Air National Guard, Air Force, and Navy squadrons to experience this. And the whole idea behind this is it's really an opportunity, a great public affairs opportunity for the different branches of the service to show people in the civilian world what it takes to be a successful participant in the military, particularly when it has to do with these multi-million-dollar aircraft that can easily cost $45 million to well over $100 million a pop, and show the public that they're truly getting their money's worth when it comes to the maintenance, the expertise, the design, and the capabilities of these aircraft. And in my instance, I had an opportunity to go up 5 different times, twice in the F-4 Phantom, once in the F-16, once in the F-15, and one in the A-7K, which is a 2-seat version of the A-7 Corsair II. And I actually got some stick time in the back seat where I had the opportunity to actually fly the aircraft, which was absolutely thrilling. But during this process, I had an occasion to talk to a number of pilots, and there was this rumor going around about this new secret aircraft at the time was being referred to as the F-19. Nobody really knew what it looked like, but during the different occasions when I was doing artwork for the ad agencies that covered the accounts of Northrop, McDonnell Douglas, Lockheed, General Dynamics, and McDonnell Douglas, there were a lot of what I would call generic illustrations that were requested by these different defense contractors having to do with a new, what was being called the Advanced Tactical Fighter, I believe, at the time. It was a new program. It was...
All right, this is the part where he's going to tell you what he did, and I was going to show you right here. This is what he did, and I saw these a lot as a kid. Being in the little kid thing, the Civil Air Patrol, always over at Andrews Air Force Base, going to the air shows, you see these drawings, right? Because this is how Lockheed and these companies sell cutting-edge technology to defense contractors, right? or to the Department of Defense. And then when they show you pictures in the public, or what was like Popular Mechanics and all these magazines I used to have as a kid, because my father loved these things and he worked in the field, and if you read into the technology in those books, you would see all the things that they're working on. That's what he did. So he saw things that he realized that they were actually working on technologies that could free the human race, which is why the name of my page is Free the Human Race, which is why I'm talking about this, which is why I got the picture of the election debate up here. It's part of why I got this Band-Aid on. Well, it's a Band-Aid now. It's field strippings earlier. I didn't have any Band-Aids at the house, and when you get in trouble, you go ahead and get a paper towel, tissue, toilet paper works, and get your electric tape, wrap that sucker up to stop the bleeding, put a Band-Aid on it as a tourniquet. I did all that, but now it's this. Because I didn't want to buy a new car, and I don't want to feed into the debt-based colonizing, every mineral's a stolen thing sold to me on Wall Street, Babylon society. And why I got the presidential election up here, this debate. Because they're not talking about this, right? Think about the logic of this, that we've just come through a time where the Pentagon finally admitted that there is a UFO in a gun camera. That was the picture we had up earlier. That's not a UFO, obviously. If they're admitting it, I think Riley asked that question earlier. And so, well, let me take this back. I'll say this. If my logic tells me, based on how this has always gone, and here's a UFO, if you haven't heard about the Pentagon's release, right here, they said that it's a UFO. My logic tells me that if the Pentagon, Department of Defense, United States Incorporated, says that that is a bug, it most likely is a fraud. No. Power concedes nothing without demands. There's no reason for them to tell us about aliens. So if they say that that is a UFO and is unidentified, to me, that's a guarantee that it is identified. That means that it is a craft. It is a type of craft that's propelled, that's probably based on the patents on Google. If you type in TR-3B, it's the new U-2, it's the new SR-71, it's the new stealth bomber. It is a new type of craft. It may or may not be ours, could be China's, could be Russia, somebody else. But the fact that you just had a presidential debate, and that wasn't even a topic. They talked about Tinker Toys and Legos, and I think they were fighting over a fire truck at one point in time. Then it means that the debate's totally set up. It's a total setup. Because the next release from the Pentagon a month after they said that was that they recovered a craft, or no, a few months after, they said they recovered a craft that was made off-world. Are you trying to tell me on a planet with 7 billion people, that the most powerful nation that secures all the airspace, that now cannot secure the airspace because they're admitting that the UFOs flying in their airspace, so nobody is safe, and that these millions of people who said they've been abducted are possibly telling the truth? You mean to tell me it wasn't even like an item, a line item in a presidential debate if the president has power? If they're not even talking about the alien craft that's flying up there? Right. That logically makes no damn sense, does it? No damn. In your neighborhood, let's try the neighborhood level. If you're in your neighborhood and somebody's robbing, killing, stealing, raping, or no, suspicious people. Let's do it the right way. Do it the right way. Suspicious persons walking through the neighborhood, all dressed in black, in a car, and the person obviously doesn't live in the neighborhood, but you just keep him circling the neighborhood. At the next neighborhood meeting, when y'all elect the neighborhood captain, do you think anybody would even bring up the idea that a suspicious car is like driving around the neighborhood? Like, do you think it might be a topic? Yeah, it might be. Okay, so the reason that you just had a presidential debate and the fact that there's an alien craft was not even brought up in the president, something that's not happened since the inception of this country or any of the countries that exist today, and it wasn't even a discussion, it wasn't even a point, it wasn't even a question, then that tells you that it absolutely positively is not a UFO. It is an IFO. They can't talk about it. It's classified. They probably know nothing or very little about it. but they certainly are not letting the public take that as a discussion item to a presidential debate for something that most people call a government, knowing that governments are there to help people. They're supposed to be by the people, for the people. If you actually had a government, not only would they bring up it if it was an alien, they would bring it up if it wasn't an alien. And they would say something to the effect of, listen, people, we're sorry, we love you. We've been hiding technology from you from the Invention Secrecy Act of 1951. We've been hiding Wilhelm Reich technology. We've been hiding Nikola Tesla technology. We've had EMG crafts. We're sorry that we had you as slaves for the past 100 years. We're not going to do it again. We're going to release all that technology. We understand that all the reason the kids are on the street burning down the cities isn't because we need to get rid of the police. It's because we've been keeping you in an artificially scarce environment, an unsociety to keep you in conflict with one another, because we are a group conflict-based political system. We only stay in power by keeping you powerless and fighting with poor white people, fighting the poor black people, fighting the poor Mexican people, fighting the Christian people, fighting the poor Islamic people and Muslim people, fighting the straight people, fighting the gay people. And we're the ones who actually have the technology to keep everybody from fighting. The only reason violence and war and rape and even exists anymore is because we've been hiding this technology from you, and we're sorry. We love you. Ever? Ever? It's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. Power concedes nothing without demands. That's not Donald Trump's job. And on this one, I'm jiving Bowden and Donald Trump. I'm gonna change his name, not jiving Bowden. His name's Jim Crow Joe. From now on, I'm calling him Jim Crow Joe from now on, just to let people know who he is. It's not their job. It's not their job to tell you about this. The patent was released. They've already done disclosure. It's not their problem. They're not going to take on the deep state. They're not going to take on the Rothschilds and Rockefellers and people who own the damn. They own continents and entire currencies. Why in the world would they be that stupid? They're not that stupid. The stupid one is us. We're the ones who are not raising it as an issue. We've already proven that we're going to vote for our new slavery. My God, most of the black people I know, a whole bunch of them actually switched to Trump, but that's not the point. Most of the black people I know, they're going to vote for Jim Crow Joe. Jim Crow Joe. Black code Jim Crow Joe over Donald Trump. Which should tell you what's wrong with the world, right? You've already told your enslavers, those who keep you barely alive in artificial scarcity, that you will continue to vote for Babylon, even though Babylon created the conflicts that you're in, and they're all artificial. So that's why, to me, it's the hot topic at IFO 2020 is you need to force them to identify what that flying object is. And that begins with the deletion of the Invention Security Act of 1951. There should be no inventions kept secret on a planet that's being burned up. On a planet that somebody probably noticed from a distance when you blew up that nuclear bomb, boom! The aliens probably saw in the neighborhood that, oh, damn it, the humans made nuclear weapons. Because a lot of people actually say that now. And it actually makes sense at the neighborhood level and at the galaxy level. Like, oh, Lord. Can you run the numbers on that one? Was that Flash? Was that Earth? That was Earth. Oh, shoot. Those are the ones that came from the monkeys. Yeah, those are the ones that came from the monkeys. Damn it. They figured out how to make nuclear weapons, and they're still killing kids and cannibals, and they're eating people and enslaving and putting children under the age of 26 in prisons. Yeah, we're gonna have to send them some technology. We you know what? I have no idea how they got to that level of technology. They're gonna burn up their planet. They're gonna kill everything, and that is a lush planet too. As they used to call it, the Garden of Eden. It is a lush planet full of life. We cannot let these monkeys destroy this planet with no nuclear weapons. They're still fighting over black oil. Why are they fighting over black oil? This is an alien conversation if y'all ain't figured this out yet. Well, because they got a government that hides technology from them, and they still believe that the government's there for them, but actually it's a corporation. They're governing corporations that is owned by a few families, and they don't even know. They actually think that fossil fuels, they actually think that fossil fuels is the best technology they got, because they got this thing called climate change, where the climate, it always changes, but they're saying that the fossil fuels are speeding, and so they're fighting the fossil fuel industry, and they believe that in 100 years, there had been no better energy creation technology other than fossil fuels. The government tells them that, and they believe that. That's crazy. They believe it. We're going to have to send them some technology for how to make maybe some EMG devices or drive. Maybe we're gonna have to send a probe, crash a probe down there so they can reverse engineer it and realize that the government's lying to them, that they don't have to be in conflict over energy, that all energy is free. All right, I'm done with the alien conversation. Does that make sense to y'all? Like, they're not actually talking about it, so obviously they're not doing anything for you. And even if it were a government and not a governing corporation, that's proven in the Washington, D.C. Act of 1871, or 1871 if you actually read it, that a government's supposed to be doing things for you. The government's supposed to be looking at the people and saying, oh my gosh, my people are starving. I'm gonna give them some food. Not poison the food, not withhold the food, not keep them in orphanage. It's like the animals in the zoo. Animals in the zoo. Here's a good one. So when we see animals in the zoo in conflict, what do we do? What do we do? The little kid will take his cake, his cupcake, his crackers or something and throw them in the cage, because you don't want the lion to fight the other lion. You don't want to see them fight and kill each other. But aliens are the same way. They see us trapped in a zoo called Earth. They see us trapped in a zoo called the United States, Canada, and Britain. And the aliens like, no, we need to send them some technology, because one, they're gonna kill each other, and we don't want that. They gotta find out. Okay, do you see what I'm saying? Like, I'm trying to set up like what's happening as above, so below. If we do it, then probably they do it. All right. It's not a discussion about aliens. It's a discussion about free energy. The fact that we have energy that can free the human race, and it's being kept from you because you still believe in a political system that obviously isn't for you. It's not for you or not by you. As George Carlin said, it is an illusion. It is an illusion that you have a control in what obviously never does anything for you. You don't have a government. All right, let's let it continue. Is that Chris Lewis in the house? Good morning, Chris Lewis. Yeah, well, the same. You know, I was talking to somebody about Philly this weekend. And Philly having all kind of problems. Philly shouldn't have no damn problems. We have the technology to solve every problem in Philly. It's actually very easy. Yemen shouldn't have any trouble. We can solve every problem there, right? San Francisco, Chicago, New York, you should not have a starving person anywhere in this nation if you actually had a government. You actually had somebody babysitting. Not even a parent, not even a government, a babysitter. A babysitter ain't gonna sit there and watch kids starve to death, and the babysitter just ain't doing nothing. You don't have a government. They don't care.
They were looking forward to the time when the F-15 and the F-16 were going to be phased out, they were looking for a multi-role fighter, something that could fight in good weather or bad, night or day, just about anywhere in the world, that had a really substantial range, and started to employ some of the qualities of stealth that were only beginning to be hinted at in the media. The production and the development of the stealth fighter itself, the F-117A, goes all the way back to the mid to late 1970s. The program actually started up around 1977, as I recall, and the first test flights of the program, I believe, was called Half Blue, began out at Area 51 around, I believe it was 1981, 1982. And so these were things that, there was rumors and things, and so the F-19 was the only information that anybody had about what this aircraft might be, or what it might look like, what it might be able to do. And the pilots had been hearing about it, but they really didn't know any more than I think most of the readers of Aviation Week and Space Technology had to know about it. But then one day, I was approached by Lockheed to do one of these fictitious aircraft, and I was approached by some public affairs people with their Calabasas division, which no longer exists, in sort of north and west of Los Angeles.
Yeah, not too far from our Sherman Oaks studios.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Well, so you know right where that is.
Yeah.
But so anyhow, they said that they had a new aircraft. It was going to be the second generation in a series of aircraft, a family of aircraft that had a very colorful history, was very fast, flew very high. Most of the details about the aircraft were considered classified, and so they really couldn't tell me.
The details are always considered classified. I'm showing you something here real quick. A few comments, and we're going to keep going. I want to skip ahead a little bit. I'm not going to listen to the whole thing. I just want you to hear 4 parts of the interview, and then we'll just do comments and go from there. And you can listen to the whole thing. It's a great interview with Mark McCandlish. That's the SR-71. The funny part is being a child. My uncle worked on that one. And I didn't know till after he died of cancer. We had no idea that he worked on the SR-71 till long after he was gone. They keep the secrets because that's what they have to do. They tie the secrets to their retirement. They tie the secrets to their prison time. They tie the secrets, and a very wise and smart person will hold those secrets until their deathbed, which is a good thing. A lot of people are dying now and explaining to us that all social conflict is artificial, that these governments, they're not governing you, they're keeping you in conflict. And I'm not sure if it was going to me, but Elaine said, talking about the government, he's right. And this is what we have to talk about because, talking about that governor, he's right. A lot of things, Elaine. On that one, hang on. Elaine, I think our governor got caught. I think that, and Chris too, that was our governor. I think he got caught where somebody, I didn't see it. I haven't had time, there's so much going on, where he got caught on a hot mic and he said something to the effect of where I got to hurry to put my mask on. We got to wear these, right? Because, it's just for political sake or something like that. Somebody told me that this weekend that he got caught. So I find that to be interesting. We have to talk about government, obviously, because it's not a government. Everything is a lie, everything is a stage event, and it's all false. We have a psychopathic babysitter. We do, Riley, which is why I think aliens are trying to help. I don't know if the craft that they sent are the ones we reverse engineered. Half the time when I listen to all the other whistleblowers of Bob Lazar, I would think that aliens sent craft here to help us make energy, safe energy in ways where we won't kill ourselves, them, or the planet, because I think they do research on the planet. But I suspect that craft right there is not an alien craft. And the reason why I suspect it, because Bob Lazar fingered that one for technology that we have, right? And it would be surprising to me that aliens would fly around in patented technology by the US government. I don't think they would do that. I think that is us. That is the reason why nobody should be fighting. There shouldn't be no Black Lives Matter fighting White Lives Matter, left fighting the right, America fighting Syria. It's all bullshit. It's all bullshit. That's SR-71. This flying craft is just the new SR-71, the U-2. They're scared to release it because it'll end all human conflict. And how you keep the powers that be in power, that 0.01%, is you keep everybody in conflict with each other. All right. That's one other comment I wanted to mention. They're crazy in Philly when it comes to Trump. He's worse than the devil. Well, I got into a conversation, Chris, about Trump. You know what? I'm gonna relate this to my brother. I'm gonna relate because my brother's emotional, and this is the thing: is all of these conflicts are emotional. There's no discussion about anything tangible because they brought all these emotional conflicts back up, and they've stirred everything back up. And I think it has to do with the fact that they're releasing technology that they don't, or they have to use technology that they don't want people relating to why they're enslaved and why social conflict exists artificially, right? I think I posted this morning about the whole election. You can't show any legislation that says that they actually have to count votes because they don't. And I think the sister replied something about Trump. And she said, well, we elected Trump. And I replied, I think something to the fact that when I was a kid growing up, because this is all I have, Chris, is all I got is logic. All I have is logic and common sense. We live on a planet where they lie about everything. All the authorities lie all the damn time. And they're willing to keep lying while people die. Millions of us. When I was a kid, I used to go over to the golf course. They wouldn't let me on the golf course. It was a guy in a green truck. And anytime he saw his kids on the golf course, he'd chase us off. The country club, the rare times we'd go there, it would be because we knew someone that had a membership. or we were going there. Yeah, we knew someone had a membership, going there to eat dinner or something like that. They never let us swim in the pool. So what I'm getting to is, if millionaires in your community and 100,000aires in your community won't even let you walk on the golf course, does anyone actually think that trillionaire families that own nations and currencies would let Americans elect a government, elect a president that would have significant say in in their family's position in the world of owning nations through trillions of dollars? No. Nobody's that. Hopefully, nobody's that stupid. Right? Millionaires become millionaires because they do millionaire things. Billionaires become billionaires because they do billionaire things. Trillionaire families become trillionaire families because they don't do millionaire things. They don't do hundredaire things. They don't do thousandaire things. Allowing a nation that you utilize to secure the planet stably in a way that you can rob, loot, kill, steal, and stay in power is not something you would give up to an election cycle. All right. These people kill presidents. These people kill entire nations. Nobody elected Donald Trump. Hillary Clinton was supposed to win, my understanding of all of this. And the only reason he won is because either they thought they'd make more money with him in the White House, or they realized the Trump vote is crazy as hell. They're crazy as hell. And there's a whole bunch of them. They might start a civil war. They don't want a civil war in America. They don't want mass conflict in America. They don't want any of that. They just want their slaves to be happy, keep working, paying their taxes, ignoring the fact that they got free energy devices they're flying around the planet. They only make money in stable times, and America is their stable saver that they use to slash anybody on the planet that does not move over to their currency system. So no, we don't elect presidents. Presidents are selected, and they're only selected after they know that they can control them, and they'll continue to stay in power. All right, let's keep going. Yeah, so it's that whole, I got to pick my master thing. Either it's master A or master B. And at my age of 29, Chris, I don't think I need a master anymore. I can change my diaper, I can wipe my butt, I can take a shower, and I can do a field stripping on my finger when I cut it and blood squirts out. I don't need anybody to politicize health for me. Nobody needs to show me where to go, when to get there. Nobody needs to tell me what career to be in. And all we can do is fight to give the kids this technology in order to free the human race, so that perhaps they will be the first generation of free human beings. I'm gonna skip way ahead. It was a great content, but I don't have a ton of time, so I just want to do 4 stuff real quick.
My mind it actually exists, but the real question is whether or not.
And the reason I'm doing this is what we need to force in the conversation. We need to force a conversation to allow human beings to be free, because we have the technology to free the human.
It was back engineered from.
Oh, damn, is that another commercial? What's this about? Best way to grow a strong beard? Oh.
Technology that was captured at some time in the past, in the U.S. history's past, probably something dating back to the 1940s, 1945 to 1947.
Roswell, do you think?
Well, that's one possibility. Interestingly, is that there's sort of a tie-in between stealth and those original incidents, because one of the few kinds of radar systems that has the potential of detecting a stealth aircraft, and there was a lot of question about how effective the Northrop B-2 bomber would be, because there was a radar system under development that was called UWB. It was ultra-wideband radar. And because it broadcasts on a number of frequencies simultaneously, it has the ability to sort of silhouette the target, even if the target has the ability to limit radar reflectivity, even absorbing some of the reflectivity, because of the fact that it's broadcasting on a number of frequencies simultaneously. It has the ability to sort of isolate this pocket that doesn't reflect anything. Mm-hmm. Well, it turns out that the very first and the most rudimentary radar systems that the U.S. military developed, which happened to be down in the area of Mexico and Four Corners, where the Utah, New Mexico, Arizona, and Colorado come together, was a radar system that had this unusual characteristic. Because it was so rudimentary, because they hadn't refined the technology, it just happened to have the ability to broadcast on a number of frequencies, very sort of in a dirty way, sort of staticky, if you will, in terms of the terminology that you'd want to use. But because of that, it's been discussed and rumored, and some people have claimed that it was this very aspect of the radar's transmission, this multispectral wide spectrum broadcast, that had the ability to jam the control systems of some of these vehicles that started showing up in the skies of Earth after we began detonating nuclear weapons. Now, the story goes that something about the way that we built these weapons, the way they went off, the electromagnetic nuclear pulse, sent out a signal, a signature, if you will, that told somebody somewhere else, maybe in the next star system over, that, hey, the boys on Earth have cracked the atom finally. We need to go check out their progress and see if they're going to destroy themselves.
Right, they're coming along. Yeah, exactly.
And so if you look at the time between the first detonations of nuclear weapons, probably, I don't remember the exact, the first test I think was in 1944, and the first actual use in warfare was, I believe, August of 1945. But you look at that, and it's 1947, which is supposedly the first downed extraterrestrial vehicle at Roswell. It's 2 years later. And so if you look at the distances between stars and the possibility of traveling at superluminal or faster than light speeds, you have the potential of having somebody from somewhere else saying, we need to go there and see what the guys on Earth are doing. But so Roswell wasn't the only incident. There were also incidents, crashes that occurred at Aztec, New Mexico, a site which I've actually visited. Roswell, Socorro, New Mexico, or is it Mexico? I forget. Paradise, Arizona. There was one somewhere near Flagstaff, I believe it was as well.
It was Mexico. That was the one where the craft crashed and the United States government sent helicopters and trucks and retrieved it and almost caused a conflict on Mexican soil. And the only reason they knew it crashed, in my opinion, could be aliens, but in my opinion, is because it was their test craft, right? They were crashing them because they were learning how to use this technology, whether it came from aliens or ancient civilizations under the Sphinx, or if it came from Nikola Tesla or inventors, right? It doesn't really matter. The bottom line is that is why all social conflict exists. They're keeping everybody in conflict with one another. And this is to me, it's a great understanding of why all of this happened at the time that it did in the 40s, and a great reason why we shouldn't continue this lie today.
People who are also claiming to be part of the abduction phenomenon, my thinking was that if these people really had been abducted and they really were awake during any part of that experience, there was a slight possibility that maybe they saw some of these propulsion system components.
Sure.
And in fact, after hearing the description of what...
It was about the third week into Kathy's weight loss battle where things really started to go downhill. She was...
the components in the alien reproduction vehicle were actually supposed to look like. And without really ever disclosing some of those facts to the people that I interviewed who were claiming to be abductees,
right.
It was startling, very startling, just how close they got to describing some of those components that were allegedly a part of the ARV, the alien reproduction vehicle's propulsion system. I mean, one of the most pronounced features is a large central column that runs right up through the middle of the vehicle.
Does it rotate?
I beg your pardon?
Does it rotate?
In some cases, it does. It depends on the kind of propulsion system. In the case of the ones that were witnessed in these alien craft, there was actually an inner and an outer column which counter-rotated in opposite directions. Now, if you, I think it was Nick Pope,
that's another logical spot, which is, so if your citizens, millions of them, are saying that we're being abducted, we're being stolen, somebody's experimenting on us and dropping us back, You would think in the presidential debate somebody would bring that up if the Pentagon admitted that there are some craft flying around and we don't know who they are, right? Because it may not even be aliens. It could be Russians. It could be Russian pharmaceutical industry. They need to experiment on people. They don't want to experiment on their own people, so they come here. And they grab people, and maybe they got costumes. And didn't, who was the reporter that indicated that? The author. The author who interviewed the DARPA Area 51 and said Area 51 was just a big cover up for technology they were creating, that they were trying to get the public to believe it was aliens, but it was top secret technology. Annie Jacobson, look her up. She was one who kind of indicated this, right? That it could be other nations are grabbing, and we could be grabbing Russians, and we could be grabbing Chinese people, we could be grabbing whoever, but it's not alien technology. I like economic answers. I'm not interested. I am interested in aliens. Hang on, let me stop. I am. But in the time of social conflict where everybody losing their dang on mind, and kids, and we've destroyed the society so bad that kids think it's a good idea to go fight police in the street. This is when we need to grow up. This is when we need to end the social conflicts and grow up. Is that Ty's in the house? I love you too, Ty. You know what? You came to mind this morning. I was I was listening to Gilgamesh, and Ty missed every single lucky spot that you could hit being born in the United States of America. He was just on all the worst, the worst of the categories, the most oppressed. Did y'all know that Gilgamesh was LGBTQ? I don't know if y'all knew that. Everybody's talking about Gilgamesh because Gilgamesh and his friend, forgot his name, but there were multiple accounts of Gilgamesh, which is beautiful. It was beautiful. That he actually, all the great heroes in the past were what the people are attacking and those that we want to deny rights to. But Gilgamesh, who they say the Great Flood wasn't Noah, but it was actually Gilgamesh, his partner, the other warrior that his best friend is a king. I was listening to the Assyrian accounts. And I'll post a link. I think you might find that interesting. You came to mind this morning. That we oppress people for some of the stupidest reasons I could ever think of. Outside of the fact that we're all being oppressed by these people that are keeping secret technology from us, I just found it highly interesting in listening how they describe his friend. I forgot Gilgamesh's friend's name, but that he loved him more than a man would love a wife. I was like, whoa, how did we miss that one? What? Whoa, wait, what? Huh? Who? What? It's like Alexander the Great. And all right, so anyway, Gilgamesh, y'all should check out Gilgamesh. It was interesting. Lockheed aircraft, yeah, Elaine, I think so. I think these are all Lockheed, they're all Raytheon, they're all, but if someone's abducting people and you actually have a government, they actually would be talking about the fact that the Pentagon just admitted that somebody's flying around and they don't know who it is. It is either us or they know who it is. And they don't give two damn. Just like all the acronym agencies that we have that actually, they let all the child trafficking happen. They let all the human trafficking happen. They let all the domestic violence. They have every album I've sung on the toilet. They got every last one of them. It's copyright infringement. I'm putting you on notice now. They're all patented songs. You need to delete all of my songs from the shower and the toilet. But the acronym agencies aren't there for us. They're there to watch us. They are slave catchers. They are whippers. They are the ones that are closest to the slaves to keep an eye on us, to keep us under control. They are not there for us.
Was it Timothy Good wrote a book, I think it was called Above Top Secret?
That was Timothy.
Yes. He had described finding some research that was being done by the Nazis up in the, I think it was the Wenceslaus mine in Poland, that involved an object called the bell. And it actually employed a system very much like this, with a couple of counter-rotating cylinders that were buried inside of a ceramic sort of bell-shaped device using mercury, thorium, and beryllium peroxide, which just happened to be some of the same kind of components that have been described as having been used in these propulsion systems. And so, I began to think that maybe some of these people who were claiming that they had been abducted by aliens really were onto something, that they were not just making this stuff up.
Mark, what are you working on now?
They weren't. And I'm going to hit Elaine on a comment. She said, I have a friend working at Lockheed, young people, rich AF. If you know what AF means. And I wonder why. Elaine, I don't wonder why. I don't even wonder why. When I worked in the pharmaceutical industry, I was wealthy AF. I had money coming in which, like you wouldn't believe, and I was actually sitting my butt at home. And I was only a contractor. Why? Well, because they weren't saving grandma. That's why. Why they need to pay people off. They need to make sure that you cannot leave. You can't leave. They need to make sure that you are a slave and you love slavery. You love their enslavement. You love their health care. You love the fact that they fly you all over the world, which they did, and they feed you real good. They make sure that you sell out, and you will be a great sellout. And you can't leave, because once you get attached to that, you get married, you buy the house, you buy the car, you got to make the payment, the kids are in school. You just can't walk away. It's a bribe. It's a bribe. I was bribed by the pharmaceutical and a few other industries to go along with the lies, to go along with it, and to somehow convince myself, Elaine, that I'm doing the right thing. They don't always do what's right. They don't always save grandma, but overall, it's a good thing to be a part of the pharmaceutical industry that's not saving grandma, that I'm doing more good than harm. And they tell you stuff like that, right? Most of the people I know, I'll say I don't know the people you know, but I'm sure we know the people who work at the same facilities. There's a Grumman spot, there's a Boeing spot, there's a Lockheed Martin spot, and they all make big time dollars. And the reason why is because they track their golden shackles, like someone mentioned with Joe Rogan, right? They gave him golden shackles, so there's no way he's gonna walk away from Spotify. He'll eventually probably do what he's told to do, which is tone it down, talk about certain things and let them control the interviews, unless he has it in his contract, because it makes perfectly good sense. If you can give people an unsustainable lifestyle anywhere else, you're not going to walk away from that lifestyle. And it's we literally enslave ourselves. So I wanted to hit that because you hit on things, and that's absolutely true. That is absolutely true. Melissa's, so Joe Rogan's bought. I think everybody's bought, Melissa. I think to a degree, everybody's bought. Just as much as I didn't chastise my brother, I try to enlighten my brother, that you need to stop consenting anywhere you can. I mean, that's my goal. Like, he was asking me, what are you going to do? Like, start removing your consent for this for Babylon any way that you can. But understanding that we're all still bought. We all eat food, which means we got to spend money. We all drink water. We all, which to me is a good design, because nobody can judge anyone else. No one can stand up and say, oh, I'm not a sellout, you're a sellout. No, we are all sellouts. There are just those of us who want to sell out less, and there are those of us who want to take modern technology and do a paradigm shift for the human race and free the human race from enslavement. So I think we all, to a degree, have shackles. Maybe some of them aren't golden. But certainly, I agree with what you're saying. It's spot on that that's what they do.
Well, I've actually got a custom car project I'm working on. I'm doing some design work in that area. I'm also doing a series of illustrations for a major boat manufacturer.
Okay. I was going to stop there. He started talking. I got one more I'm going to show you. I think one more? Yeah, one more. He was, it's 30 seconds from here. I'll let it continue. I found this part interesting because this is actually what I'm doing. And I think a lot of my friends, y'all might kind of agree. It's like after you see behind the curtain and you see that the emperor has no clothes and you see the little wizard that he's actually pulling the levers in the Wizard of Oz, when you really see, you go do something important with your life. So this whistleblower who worked for, who did he work for? Lockheed? He worked for anyway. He's doing things. He's interested in sci-fi. He mentioned something about, I think, ancient archaeology. Like, he's doing important things. He's going after his passions in life, because once you see behind that curtain, the political system isn't anything for you. Like, it's useless, right? You understand that until the masses wake up, it's all useless. And I find myself doing that. And So, you know, like I was talking to my son, why are we growing castor plants? Well, because we're going to make some biofuels, son, obviously. We're going to make biofuels, and I'm probably going to kill myself, making an engine that runs on biofuel. It's pointless and it's fantasy because we have technology that doesn't even have a reason for engines that run on biofuels to exist. It's that lie that we need to take something from the planet and burn it up to propel a car or a spacecraft, and we don't. But it's busy work, right? Like you start chasing some of your passions. You make solar panels, you make dolls, you paint, you do music, you do other things because you're waiting for everyone else to catch up in consciousness. And I kind of think that's why the aliens reached out to us, because they realize, and they probably see it all the time, and it's what we would do, right? You're waiting, like, aren't we like watching the apes and going through the Stone Ages? Like, didn't somebody say that the apes are during the Platinum or the Iron Age or Stone Age, something like that? We watch for other evolving creatures, and what are we going to do? We'll send researchers to help them. We'll go there and we'll give them tools. We'll give them this. We'll give them that. You know, we'll help them along. And I believe from a universal perspective, which is an alien portion of the conversation, that yeah, they're watching for jumps where paradigm shifts can occur. And instead of letting that species die and murder its entire planet, which is what we're doing, they help. You know, and there were whistleblowers who said that actually, that they send craft, they gave us designs or sent a craft that you can't hook up a weapon to somehow. Was it Bob Lamar who said that? That the craft that they had, anytime they tried to hook up an electronic weapon system or something to it, that it wouldn't work. It somehow destabilized the field. That they didn't give us one of probably a million different drives, a means propulsion, that they gave us one specifically that wouldn't allow us to put weapons on it. And that's why you see the craft flying around and you don't see them in war and you don't see them blowing anything up, because the design they gave us creates some sort of field that if you change the plans, it modifies the field, which is why we don't have EMG craft flying around that look like F-18s and F-16s. They look like the standard UFO, because it had something to do with the field. And if you change the plans, it won't work. So they literally gave us a baby gate, which is funny to me. They gave us a baby gate. They gave, you know, like little things you put in the electric socket. They gave, you know, they realized that our governments, they're violent and they're psychopathic, or the people who run the governments. And so they gave us a piece of technology to help us so we wouldn't kill ourselves, right? Like, what's the kid's name? Ralphie in Toy Story? No, not Toy Story, Christmas Story? Ralphie? No, Mama didn't buy Ralphie a rifle. Mommy bought Ralphie a Red Ryder BB gun. Why? Because Ralphie gonna shoot his eye out. And so I think the aliens get that. Come on, I'm gonna do one more stop here. This was a great interview. I didn't hear the whole thing, but you should watch. The whole thing is an hour and 51 minutes. I didn't watch the whole thing. I stopped at the 50 mark, but you should listen to it, because these are the discussions that we have to have if we are serious about Black Lives Matter, White Lives Matter, American Lives Matter, Christian lives, LGBT and Q lives matter. It's all about artificial scarcity, the enslavement that they keep us in, which is less than enslavement, because masters love their slaves. Corporations don't give two damns about the commodity. They'll sell it, they'll blow it up, they'll throw it to another planet if that's what makes the money.
And I've got...
He talks about why they won't release the technology. I found his perspective interesting. I want to play this and we'll do comments.
A few other projects I really can't talk about that I'm working on that are very interesting, but I'm actually thinking of branching out and more into an area of science fiction and fantasy, fantastic art, I think they call it. The kind of...
Because there is no science fiction. There are no myths. Human beings are manifestation creatures, and I think, people who go to that extent find science fiction interesting, like mythology, like the Vikings, the Greek gods, the African gods, the Indian gods, those who did things that were fantastic because you don't view them as fantastic anymore. You view them as some sort of alien, multi-dimensional god, creature, something influence.
Stuff that Frank Frazetta and others like him have done. And looking forward to that.
I'm going to get you in touch with Larry Niven, one of the great science fiction writers.
Well, that'd be great. I love science fiction.
We can do things like that for you.
Yeah, that would be great.
This whole picture that you've looked at over the years is leading you to come away with what kind of a question and then what kind of an answer?
Well, I think the question on everybody's mind about this sort of technology is, if it exists, why is it still secret? I mean, if it's been, 47 to 2006, we're looking at, 60 years or something?
Yeah, what are we holding back for?
Well, this is the same sort of question I think you posed to me the last time we were here, and I think the answer is still the same, and that is that the technology that they have, and it really does exist, is the one thing that gives us a strategic edge in the world, with nations like Iran threatening to develop nuclear weapons and throw them at their neighbors, the prospects of North Korea doing something like that as well, and the idea that we might attack one of these countries, and frankly, the prospect of doing that is ludicrous. In spite of whatever Kim Jong-il thinks, it'd be silly for us to do that, because their fallout would all drift back to Canada and the United States with the prevailing winds. So it's not like we're going to do that tomorrow. But so the real question remains: if they have the technology, why is it secret? Why haven't we heard about it? Why aren't they using it commercially? And as far as I'm aware, there are a number of efforts being made right now, not only in this country but around the world, to try and find a way to bring out this technology in a way that doesn't threaten its military applications, and at the same time allows for things like power production without the toxic byproducts that you get from fossil.
Oh, hang on! I saw something. Did you see it? It was a bing. Did you see the light go on? So a couple things there. So why don't they release the technology? And my obvious answer is, well, because of the Act of 1871. You don't actually have a government. They don't actually care about you. They don't care about, if you're okay, and if you have a job, and if you're safe, and if you have food, and if you're not eating carcinogens that they spray on the crops. They don't actually care. People who drop bombs on buildings and they help foreigners invade your nation and blow up USS Liberties, they don't actually care about you. You're a commodity. That was the first answer I had for him. But then it was interesting because he mentioned, they're trying to figure out a way to release it in a way that does not empower the foreigners. I love it. I have to stop with that right there. That's beautiful, because I came right back around to what we were thinking about: as above, so below. So why would the aliens give us a ship that we can't kill ourselves with? Why would Ralphie's mom give him a Red Ryder BB gun out of a rifle? Well, for the same reason the United States Incorporated, the British Incorporated, and Canada Incorporated, if they figure out how to use this thing and mount weapons to it, they're not going to give it to the Congo in a way that lets them mount weapons to it too. They're going to give it to them in a way that keeps them in power. As above, so below, right? Congo has too many minerals and resources to let them actually stabilize as cousins in another country. They need to maintain dominance. All right, I'm gonna go through comments and I'm gonna get out of here. I love that. I love how it came right back around. He said, and I disagree with what he's saying. No, I don't think it's because they don't want you to radiate yourself. They don't want you to actually get rid of the United States Incorporated. They don't want you to be able to defy the global elites. And that's probably why it's taken 100 years. We've been having this discussion for 80 years now, since Roswell, and we're still talking about it. Russia had a Roswell. Oh, they all had Roswells, and we're still talking about it. Why? Because they can't figure out how, which is why it's interesting, the aliens started them out and crashed a probe here to give us a means of propulsion so we don't kill our planet with nuclear power. That we stop waging war over conflicts of oil and fossil fuel because we didn't have it, and they give it to us, but they give it to a way where they can't figure out how to use it without killing everybody. No, they can't figure out a way. They had to give us a way to give us energy to allow for consciousness to occur, because when human beings have abundance, they become beautiful human beings, right? There are no good and bad people, just environments. When you give human beings good environments, they become pleasant human beings. Human beings in bad environments, they become violent human beings. So the aliens would have us to give us a means of energy creation to allow us to have the abundance, which walks us into consciousness, right? When you become a decent human being, or when you see, you know, the way out of the rabbit hole, you go into things that you love doing. And when you do things that you love doing, you become a loving person. When human beings become loving people, at some point in time, it always leads us back to meditation and consciousness and trying to become better. And when we actually do that, then maybe that's how you can communicate with other beings that don't use physicalities to travel. They use their minds. Now we can talk about psychedelics and other fun stuff, but all right, all right, no, G is not smoking a roast. G cut, who is that? Courtney, Coco, what's wrong with you? I cut my finger and I finally got a Band-Aid. I had to do a field stripping in the car. All right, I was gonna warn humanity, then I got high. Yeah, okay, Riley, I assume that that's bad and no, aliens supposed to warn humanity. But somebody said, there was a whistleblower who said that. Something to the fact that the Pleiadians or somebody said, listen, don't be stupid, stop killing each other, love each other. And somebody else said, I think his name was Yahweh. He said, thou shalt not kill Syria, thou shalt not kill Venezuela, thou shalt not kill Mexico, thou shalt not kill Honduras, thou shalt not kill black people, thou shalt not kill poor white people. Did I hit all of them? All you thou shalt killers. Most of us are raised in the church, so you're not gonna hit me with the yayo. You're not gonna hit me with that jive and Bowden nonsense. No, you're not supposed to be making a crime bill to kill people. No, that's against every religion. And that's what they do. The Pleiadians, the Orions, the Yahwehians, the Allians, well, whoever that you talked with. They even got spaghetti gods now. The spaghetti god, have y'all met him? Was the agnostics, the atheists, they came up with the spaghetti. Even the spaghetti just love each other, natural law, just love each other. Same as that, ignore the messenger, focus on the message. I'm warning the donkeys. Right, exactly, Melissa. You would warn the donkeys if the donkeys created a new form of technology called radiation. You're like, no, donkey, that's not that's not how that works. You're not supposed to use radiation for technology. You're going to end up killing the whole herd. We are protected. Expand on that. I think we are protected, Melissa. I don't think it makes us special. I don't think it, well, you're unique. Unique in a special way. Not special as in we're alone in the universe and we the greatest thing since God poured rice on something. We aren't alone. We are unique and we are special in that way, but we are not like narcissistic, sociopathic, better than anything else. And I think they find interest in protecting Earth, not necessarily us, but Earth. I think that's how that works, Melissa, is that we are a diverse Garden of Eden, a biosphere that's worth study. It's like how we love Sentinel Island, like Sentinel Island. Sentinel Island is fascinating to us, not just because of Sentinelese, because they'd murder you if somebody tried to bring them Jesus. And then he did not bring them Jesus. Did y'all? Ooh, goodness gracious. He thought that he was going to pray that, say, hey, some things only come by prayer and fasting. But Sentinel Island is not just interesting to us because of the Sentinelese, but because of the plants, because it's an isolated ecosystem, because of the bugs and what's there. And there's all these theories about how animals evolve in isolated areas. Where else, like Patagonia, the Galapagos, right? So I think Earth is significant to whatever's out here, all these biologists and scientists, call them aliens, whatever. The same way to us, isolated ecosystems are also interesting. I think we learn a lot about ourselves through them, and I think they learn a lot about themselves through us. Yeah, Elaine, I call them all Lockheed aircraft. Like that's where I'm at right now. Like the whole alien discussion is insignificant. I find it interesting, but it's insignificant. The only significant thing is we end human conflict, make a paradigm shift, and begin a consciousness, make a model that prioritizes conscious human beings, right? Sentience in human beings, not a model of keeping human beings in conflict with one another, limiting the bananas that they can actually have. So at this point, they're all Grumman, they're all Lockheed Martin, they're all, and as long as the people, oh, that's the wrong debate. As long as the people down here keep everybody talking about things that aren't related to freedom, and freedom being the core requirement of the human race for them to get rid of violence, I'm not interested in what these people got to say. This is the wrong one. Did anybody pick on that? Anyone pick that up? That's not Jive Bowden. That's the lady that's going to prison. That's the lady well, she's not gonna go to prison. They'll convict her, but the guy right here, he's gonna that thing they do to criminals, they all get together and they help each other. He's gonna get her off. He's gonna pardon. That's it. She's gonna get convicted because she used it's treason. I mean, she used all of these, the whole Russiagate thing. Didn't we talk about that? You don't know about that? Does everybody know that Russia actually never colluded in the election, and that file release that was declassified proved that it was given to her as an idea to hide the fact that she had the emails on those servers, to obfuscate the American public, and she met with Obama and told him what they were going to do, and Obama was okay with it, and he just went along with it and didn't tell y'all nothing. Yeah, that's her. That's Clinton. And when they get her on that, he's going to pardon her because they all work together for the same United States Incorporated. All right? That's how that works. You don't like it, but that's just the real world. To me, everything is money and economics. The common denominator is belief. It is, Paul. There are people who believe, right? And there are people who don't. I am one who does not. I no longer believe in slavery. I don't believe in the plantation. I believe in human beings going free. Utilize modern technology to free the monkeys. Let me put the UFO back up there, because there's nothing more significant in monkey world than this. There's nothing more significant in monkey world the fact that they admitted to that, and these people don't never talk about that. They're happy to keep you believing. Everything is about belief. Great cast, Gee. Love you, man. Love you too, Tony. Appreciate it. I think it's the most significant thing, Tony. I think that the only thing that we have is each other. And until people are free, I don't want to talk about nothing else. I don't. Like, we can talk about other stuff, but the most important thing is people going free, finding consciousness. All right, Affy. Oh, goodness gracious, the comments going too fast. Let me show you things there. Any government position as well. Every position the government takes, Melissa, I'm usually against, because they're not a government. They're a governing corporation. They're literally a treasonous, they're an invasion force that's on U.S. soil, and it needs to get off of U.S. soil. We need to restore the republic. Like, there are a lot of good common sense solutions, and but we have to focus on priorities and not get bogged down in the side effect discussions, like all the racisms and the isms and stuff, the things that they give you to keep you in conflict with other people who are also being oppressed by the same corporation, governing corporation. All right, yep, gag orders every darn where. Yes, Rebecca, and those gag orders work. If they can't bribe you to give you a gag order, they don't give you a gag order, they make you sign a, there's things I signed a bunch of them in my days. Non-disclosure agreements, right? You're working on technology, you're working on systems that you can't ever talk about or for an extended period of time. All right, true, my hubs walked away from his Chrysler job when the plant here in St. Louis closed. They said, move to Detroit or lose your job. Bye. He didn't want to work 60 hours a week away from his family. Ooh, wow. See, that's a man with some integrity right there. We poor but happy. Well, Mary Ann, I'll be honest with you. The happiest people I know are poor. And there's something to that. The happiest people I know are cash poor. They're debt poor. They're financially poor. Ethically, consciously, they're the most beautiful people. The people who are the most beautiful, the people who tap into, I think, the most human-centric passions are the people who have the least money, the least currency. And I did a video about that, I think, at one point in time, Marie, where I think money is more spiritual than anything else. I think money it's current. There's something, because it's based in the negativity, right? It's based in a negative vibration called debt. And this is what my financial friends have finally taught me, and it's taken years to beat it into my brain. That it's not about the money. It's about the debt. Right? the kings and that create coffers, they have no interest in you using their currency for the money side of it. They're not trying to empower you. The power is the debt. The power is to, when every child in the nation has debt attached to them, it means that you will work. They can make you do anything. You're given debts that you'll never pay back. It means that you have a slave plantation. Every child is born a slave. It means you have chattel, right? And it took a while to understand that. Every dime that you spend is like 2 or 3 dimes the next generation has to pay back. And that's how you have chattel slavery. You know, and this is why probably Christ hated money so much and hated the money changers so much. Not hated, and maybe that's a strong word, but because of the debt. And so I find that people who can walk away, who finally get that and understand that, and they stop with these digital currencies and the Bitcoins and other stuff. I mean, that might be a means to an end, but from a solve the root problem, money has to go. You have to get rid of debt. It's just a whip. Right? The whole purpose of the currency system is to whip you, right? Is to give you that golden shackle, or to give you enough debt that you'll never leave. So it tends to be that the most passionate and loving people I know are the people who have the least. Those are the ones who can speak most to it. Politics is for poor people who don't know any better. Gerard said that, Christ. Gerard, you know what, Christ, thank you so much, but I have to be honest. I stole and modified and murderized that quote. Originally, it was Ty, and I think it said, he said it in a way of, politics are for poor people who can't read. And I probably modified it to be nice. Ty didn't pull any punches. Ty tell you exactly what Ty thinks. I'm still trying to be nice to people. Ty would just call you stupid and says, all right, bye. So I tried to make the quote nicer. Try to make it a little nicer, a little more easier to swallow. I don't have the same categories as Ty, right? I have a lot more privilege in a way. And so this is why, like I said, you make room for people who've been through more fires than you have. You understand when I say that, what I'm saying? How do they say it nowadays? Pay it forward, and something about you always you help people who, I'm drawing a blank. I didn't drink enough coffee. Punch up, not down. Is that how that goes? And it's not that it's down. It's not that, you know, I'm punching down with Ty. It is, I understand Ty went through things I didn't go through. In other ways, I went through things Ty didn't go through, right? But I have a lot of privilege. And listening to Ty, I realized that Ty went through some stuff. So I make a lot of room for people who went through things I didn't have to go through. Is it punch up, not down? That if you're gonna have problems with those that have more power than you. Don't abuse people that have gone through things that you never had to go through. Something to that effect. Somebody will fix that quote. I don't know how it goes. Anyway, X Project, X Share. What is that, Melissa? And I live in reality. Well, Riley, that's why I talk about aliens and UFOs, because I like reality too. Reality is fun. I like reality. The idea of this Bigfoot, mermaids, and praying mantis. Like, to me right now, it's more real that you have infinite possibilities for types of life and life that's not carbon based, and it can look like anything, be anything based on how things evolve in an ecosystem with a sun that's closer and further, a sun that's more blue than red, creating different types of plants with, black leaves for a different type of filament to happen, or photosynthesis. And I think life can look like everything. To me, that's more real now than the crap that we got, than anything on television. It's more real to talk about the reality that we've never been alone. We've only been alone in our own little narcissistic head, our own little sociopath, that we are better than everybody else, and all the aliens said that intelligent life has to look like us. It has to be carbon based. It has to have an ignorant brain like us. It has to blow up children and drop bombs on buildings and stick with fossil fuels. And keep voting for those who keep you doing that. But that's intelligence. That's what intelligent life looks like, which is why I'm making biofuels with the castor plant. Which is why I like to talk about mermaids if I can. I think there's more mermaid life out there, Riley, than there's human life. I do. I think there's more aquatic people in the universes and the galaxies than monkeys that walk around on the land, because most planets have internal oceans. Every planet has an internal ocean. Only some of them have surfaces you can live on. So the math says to me that most life is going to be aquatic based. I mean, most life now on Earth is aquatic based, so most life in space will be aquatic based. When the aliens come, they ain't coming to the land. Nobody's going to your government facility. They know, because the most intelligent life is under the ocean. I think in the future, one day, somebody's going to watch this video and be like, damn it, how did he know? He knew way back then that life is in the ocean. I think it's life all in there. I got friends who worked in the Navy, and none of them they said they saw weird things, but there are whistleblowers who talk about USOs, unidentified submersible objects. I think they're ISOs. I think they're identified submersible objects. We now have the Hubble, and we know that there's life everywhere, and there are infinite possibilities. All right. Courtney Foster, good times with freaky friends. I'm not even gonna ask that question, Riley. I don't know what that's about. It's all a war game. Paul Bradley, it's all a war game. It's always about war. They hide technology to wage war and kill other people and steal their resources and land. That's why they hide technology from us. And anybody who's in power that doesn't talk about it, obviously is not governing you. They're in bed with those colluding to rule you. They're in bed with those who invade you. They're in bed with those, what was it, Operation Norwood, where they were plotting to kill citizens for some gain or something like that. All right. Congo, always interested in the Congo, thinking ghost race. Why have there been artifacts and remains looking into that? Leopold. Oh yeah, well, there were so many cultures though in the Congo that we lost, Melissa, and I find it interesting. Well, most of Africa, and then Native Americans and Aztecs and the Mayans, like all over, we lost so many cultures who had so many fantastic things. They spent more time in consciousness, like they were free, unlike us, right? They didn't have an indoctrination system called an education system. Their kids were born and were like, hey, we got food, we got land, nobody's poisoning our crops. Our brains work, nobody's putting fluoride and chlorine in our water. You know, we got plenty of free time. So when we're not chasing monkeys and doing this and that, and making some soup, whatever, let's just sit here and meditate, focus on consciousness. And I think most of these cultures discovered the means of consciousness, like meditation. Oh, I can tell you something. Like, you know, my friends say, you know, just put yourself in that meditation space and one day the aliens, the multi-dimensional creatures or whatever, they'll engage you. I think Stacy says that. Nobody engaged me, but this weekend, somebody came and sat on my bed. I'm gonna tell you that. I was meditating. I usually do about an hour in the morning, and I can't make it happen every time, but one time I did something, my brain, right vibration, I ate the right dinner, something, I don't know what happened. I was meditating and I felt the bed move. I was like, did the bed just move? My eyes were closed and I have a blind that I put on to make sure no light comes in, because the Tibetan monks, when they go and they meditate, they have to have in total darkness. So I try to be in total darkness and I cover my eyes. I don't want any light getting in. And I thought, did I just feel the bed move? Something just sat on the bed. I was like, yeah, and then it happened again, and I felt the bed move again. This happened this week. Was it Saturday? It might have been Saturday. And I was freaking out. I was just like, oh Lord, the aliens are here. I don't know what it was. It's probably a ghost. It's a ghost that lives in my house. I told y'all that story, don't worry. But something sat next to me, and it moved around a little bit, and it's just like, I know I'm not alone. I'm not alone. That's all they got to do half the time. That's what I think aliens are about. They just want you to know that you're not alone. Don't act like you're alone. You don't have to go kill people in Yemen and steal their resources. You're not alone. And that was the message I got from this weekend. Nobody told me nothing. They didn't give me free energy. They didn't give me schematics. They didn't give me any of that stuff. They didn't give me a message. Nothing from the Pleiadians. They didn't tell me how to make the best zucchini bread with pineapples. No, they just something was just like, yeah, you're not by yourself. And to me, it's creepy. I love it, but it's creepy. Y'all should meditate. If you don't meditate, please meditate, because they don't want to talk to me. Maybe they'll talk to you. They were just telling me that they exist, that they're there. I will never leave nor forsake you. That sounds familiar. There was another thought I was having on that. Everybody should be meditating. Everybody should be doing yoga. Everybody should be focused on consciousness. Everybody should be increasing their sphere. Everyone should be engaging in more sentience. The more people you sense, the more conscious you become, because consciousness is about being involved with everybody consciously, right? The people in all the countries and all the lands, the people in all the religions, of all the sexual preferences, all the political parties, all of the things that you were separated from, your cousins all over the planet. We have to become more conscious. But there was something else about that. I was meditating. Something was there just to say that you're not alone. Don't be stupid. Zucchini bread with pineapples. I lost my train of thought. I'm sorry. A lot of stuff goes through my head, if y'all didn't already know. Hopefully it'll come back to me. Pastafarians, they worship his noodly appendages. Matthew Warner, what the hell are you talking about? They watch us. I think they do, Riley. There was a book called the Book of the Watchers. They just watch us and they help us out where we need some help. And we obviously need some help. Who are they really? Good question, Jackie. I have no idea. There's a lot of planets out there. We are a reality TV show. Yes, Riley, we are a reality TV show. Like nature's a reality TV show for us. Actually, the Earth is flat. NASA lied about the shape of the Earth. They never went to the moon. And Christopher, that's possible. Christopher Smith. I put things on a plausibility scale. I don't think that the Earth is flat, but what the hell do I know? Christopher, I'm with you. I don't argue with nobody. I don't argue with nobody who's being lied to by NASA and the rest of their government too. If we went up in a spaceship, Christopher, what I tell people, and we look back and we see that the Earth is flat, I'd just be like, you know what? Christopher said so. I didn't doubt him. They've been lying to me. I'm on a slave plantation. I don't know what's outside the borders. Who knows what's out there? The Earth could look like a donut. So I don't argue with anybody, but you're right, spot on, and NASA lies. Never a straight answer. Donna Hare, my friend, worked for him, and there are structures on the moon. We've been here before. But my hesitation there, Christopher, is that when it comes to free energy technology, there are a lot of whistleblowers, and they're from everywhere, from bat crazy as hell, the alien took me and pregnified me and gave me some babies, and my first couple babies were aliens, to professionals who give up their careers and lose houses and are chased by the FBI, right? You have all of that for free energy craft. You don't have that for flat Earth. That's my hesitation with flat Earth. I feel like if the Earth is flat and you got all these global scientists, that they would, somebody, somewhere, you wouldn't, I never heard of a flat Earth whistleblower. So it's possible, brother. It's possible. I like to keep my mind in the economic space, right? Just the economics of it, right? If the Earth were flat and they were lying about that, then there would probably be thousands of whistleblowers like there are with all the projects, the Freedom of Information Act, the Operation Northwood, Operation Paperclip, DARPA. You would have people coming out. I just don't see people coming out for that. But who knows? I don't know anything when it comes to that. The belief in aliens comes from projection, superstition, indoctrination. No, Paul, not really. It comes from Hubble. It comes from what is that thing called? The dark. When they took the Hubble satellite, and then we looked up and we said, you know what? There's a galaxy right there, and there's one right there, and there's one right there. Hang on, let me hide these criminals real quick. But they're not criminals. They're doing what anybody else would do. I'm no better than Donald Aloysius Trump. I am no better than Hillary Clinton. And if I were them, I'd be them. If I was born them and I had reptilian skin and my eyes kind of did that thing, they closed this way. I'm just joking. I'm joking. I didn't say that. I'm just joking. So, no, if I was them, I'd be them. So, Paul, my thing is this, so what they did is they took the darkest spot of space, they like looked around and said, that is the darkest spot right there, and there's absolutely nothing there, and there's no way, well, here's the dark spot there. There's no way that anything is right here, it's empty. The darkest space, it was a deep field. Is that what it's called? Somebody correct me, it's called deep field. And they let it focus, the Hubble focused in the darkest spot where wasn't a damn thing, but just black matter and just blackness and just nothing was right there. 18 hours or 24 hours. And in the picture that came through, the dark field, I showed it to you. You don't know about this, Paul? The dark field. Is it called the dark field? Hubble? I think it's called dark field. And this resolved it for me because I was on the fence. Here we go. Yeah, Hubble dark field photo. I was on the fence for a long time. And when that picture came through, this is what it looked like right here. Well, it didn't look like this because there are no colors, but it was black and white, but they colored it in. This is what they saw in the darkest spot. So in the darkest spot that they could look at, they saw billions of galaxies, not solar systems, not planets, not suns. They saw billions of galaxies. It is a mathematical impossibility that not only is there not life out there, that life ain't every damn where. It's everywhere. Our only question is whether or not we want to be someone that they reach out to instead of just somebody that they watch. Do we want to become something significant that they want to have friends with? Or do we still want to just act like monkeys and apes and dinosaurs or things that they just want to watch? So yeah, I don't think it comes from superstition. I just think it comes from just the reality that everything's an ecosystem. There's life everywhere. And it makes us feel good to be narcissistically alone and sociopathically important, but we're just not. We're unique. And I think that's good enough. They sent us some aircraft. They sent us free energy. And I think that's good enough. It means somebody likes us. But I'm pretty sure there's a species out there that want to put us in with some basil and eat us in soup. That's possible too. All right. We've been modeled. Ooh, we have the model Joe Dispenza and others talk about it. It just needs to be practiced. There are skills to self-regulate, but you have to do it. Amen. Joe Dispenza is a great one to follow. I've seen some of his lectures, Elaine, feeling him a lot. It's about their economics, not ours. Ooh, go on, Jackie McMillan. Just go ahead and just throw them punches, girl. It's going to. It's about their economics, not ours. Literally, not ours. None of it is ours. None of it, nothing, nil, none. Their economics, their planet, their oxygen, their rain, their food, their water, their land, and you ain't even in the equation. That's a good thing about being alive, Jackie McMillan, because you can make statements like that and we can factually, empirically prove them. They claim that they own the rain. Not a damn American or anybody in Britain owns a drop of land. Everything in your house that they own, they can take it anytime they want to. So nope, it's not about your economics. You are literally a commodity that collects and pays for commodities, that does work for things that they can take back anytime they want to through the NDAA and a host of other laws that people don't read. Yes. It's not about their economics. No, it's about their economics, not ours. We ain't got no nomic, Jackie. We ain't got economics. We ain't got none of it. We ain't got the tick. We ain't got the ick on the back. Got none of it. Zero. Gee, you're talking about religions. There are all kinds. Pastafarians have book manifesto satirical. Oh, okay. Yeah, they're all kinds. You know what, Matt? I love religions. I love all of them. I do. I love all of them until they stop dropping bombs on people and putting swords in babies. Then I got a problem. But short of that, I love all the religions. Teach life. Yes, everything is about life. Live life, be happy, love, absolutely. Everything is about life. Live and let live. We have to go back to being that military industrial complex as Citizen Dev. Yep, there should be no industrial complexes for anything. I feel my deceased dad holding my hand as he did when I was a child. Ooh, from time to time. I'm usually walking with a smile on my face when I experience this. 4 fingers cupping the other 4 fingers. Yeah, I felt pop too, Miss Tree. I felt pop too. I had this up earlier. I don't think you were right. Was it this one? I had this up. Nope, that's Nemo. I have so much on here. Oh, goodness gracious. Yeah, there you go. That's the right one. You know, it's like, you know, we all know people who've died. And I don't know how your family died, Miss Tree. But from what I realize and recognize is that we've all lost loved ones and we're all related to those loved ones. People don't ever die. They just transfer into some multi-dimensional spirit, wave, energy creature things. And they're all around. I feel my father around too. But that's not going to stop my vengeance, Miss Tree. Yeah, nobody dies. Nobody ever dies, but I'm going to get you. Nobody ever dies, but I'm going to get you. I got a DOD and a pharmaceutical industry that I'm coming for. Not the people in it, but at the top. It needs to go the hell away. You can kill too many people and it's too late. Same thing with the lockdowners. Y'all need to cut it out. Y'all need to stop colluding with these criminals. They didn't kill grandmamas. They didn't kill 30 to 60,000 grandmamas and grandpapas, and why they convince you that they saving grandma and grandpa? Locked them up in the nursing homes during flu season. They all died. There's a federal investigation of that. And if they said it was 30 to 60,000, I think that probably means it was 60,000 to 90,000. They killed a whole bunch of people. The only point out your mouth is my name is Inigo. Put your name in it. You kill grandmama. Prepare to die. Prepare to die. Respect our elders and make sure that we take out the systems that took them out. That's all. Whoa, what's up with the angry face? What happened? What happened? What's wrong with the angry face? Somebody tell me what's going on. It's a good thing to get vengeance for grandma, but grandma appreciates. She don't really care. She flying and sky. How that song go? I'm flying and flying. Grandma flying with daddy and everybody else. But we have children and other generations that we have a job to do for, and that's freeing them. Jeannie said, I am a piggy. Okay, Jeannie, I'm not even sure where to go with that. Jeannie Jane, monkeys are fun and playful and rarely serious. Yeah, this is how I know that 98% of me, Christ, is definitely monkified. There's no question about that. Oh, I see UFOs all the time. Uh-oh, don't hang out with Susan too much because she be out in the woods walking and foraging for mushrooms. And she's seeing UFOs, something chasing her. I just know if I'm seeing them, they're most likely Space Force. Oh, okay, not my cosmic family coming to rescue me. Always disappointed. Yeah, I'm with you too. I'm with you on that one, Susan. Is most of them, I think aliens are real. I just don't think they're all that interested in this. I think they come around every now and again. They're just, we can't seem to admit that we have criminal organizations that create space forces and U-2s and SR-71s and stealth fighters. And it's more fun to say it's aliens, but it's more realistic to say that there's a level of technology that legally they've proven they have that they don't want to share, and they don't have to. And the only people who can do that are the people. The politicians can't do it. The politicians, because of classifications, and they are the few. We are the many. We are the ones who can dictate to those in Washington, that those we keep voting for, that they can stop letting us die from keeping artificial scarcity laws that are burning up the planet and causing grandmama to die with grandpa and everybody else. All right, last couple comments I'm gonna go. Whew, coffee's wearing off. My coffee high is wearing off, and I'm thinking about the day, all the things I got to get done. I still got slavery. Give grace. Yes, every day, Jackie, give grace. Empower the powerless, not the powerful. Oh, yes, Courtney, she fixed the quote. That's exactly what you do. You always help the powerless in any category, and some of the powerless that you help have more power than you in other categories. That's why this thing is all relational. It's all a relationship. We all have to work together. We're all powerful. Most just don't realize it. We are Christ. And I think that the reason why that is because most people are still indoctrinated to think that they have enemies outside of their mirror. And you don't. You don't have any enemies. All your enemies are fake. They're frenemies. They're people who are your friends and will be your friends if you're not stupid enough to believe the TV and out there fighting with them. Everybody's connected. You know, the problem are the environments, not the people. Everything is connected and we are powerful, but we give up our power because we let the television and indoctrination tell us where to stand on issues. We're all different expressions of the same message. If you take it personally, oh well. And we are. We're all different. I like to hear Elaine in the way that we're spiritual creatures having a human experience. And it's okay. People are taking it personal, like, oh well, sorry, do you, you know, you know. Everybody wakes up in their own time. Milk for babies and meat for men. What's that mean, Jackie? Let me see. Do you think these are colors you're seeing right now? No, Riley, colors don't exist. But that'll get real freaky. We start going down that road. Colors don't exist, and we actually don't even know what water is. Oh, you reminded me of what I wanted to say. We were talking about the senses, and I might miss the epiphany I was having, but just how we evolved. Like, we came from monkeys. Everybody except for Jeannie, who apparently came from a pig, which somebody's gonna have to look into that. Somebody's got to figure that thing out. Jeannie, I don't know. You say all right. I'm sorry. I was thinking about evolution, how we evolved. Stop it. Pigs are beautiful. Y'all stop eating bacon. Cut it out. If you ever play with a pig, you'll never eat bacon. It solved it for me when we dissected a piglet in high school, Jeannie, and that ruined me forever, the bacon. I mean, I love bacon after that, but I didn't eat bacon for about a year because the whole gut thing, when that started to get, woo! All right, focus. All right, epiphany I had. Had to do with evolution. Y'all can throw my mind off so easy. This thing, I don't know why it does this. All right, so we evolved the senses. I was watching a good show, and I'll post a link for it. Should still be in my history while I was cutting myself up in the car. There are different types of life, right? Like, life evolves a different way for different reasons, right? Based on the light, the conflict, what the other species are, whatever, right? And so we're these multicellular organisms that are constantly acquiring energy, right? And the more complex, or the more cells that you get together, working together as a collective, the more energy, the more appendages you can make to get things and eat. And so everything is about consumption of energy, right? And so the things that develop eyes, right? Eyeballs, they could eat more because now I can see the food and I can go after it. I don't have to sense it, or it doesn't have to touch me. And the things that develop a mouth, well, I can eat it faster than pulling it through my cells, right? Like, we developed all of these things, opposable thumbs, so I can grab that unicorn latte and put that carcinogen down my mouth. Like, we evolved, all these abilities, but they're all based in the consumption of energy, right? So all the sensings we have, it took me back to Saj Guru, who I used to post, and I haven't watched anything from him in a while because my gurus jump around all the time, who I listen to. He calls them survival senses, right? So what we see, what we feel, what we can eat, all these things are based on consuming energy based in what we are, right? It doesn't mean that there's nothing else there. Right? So what Riley is talking, when you said that, Riley, that colors aren't even real, they don't even exist, or they're not what we see. All we see is what pertains to collection of energy, what we can eat on our vibrational level in this particular dimension. But there's a lot out there, but none of it is related to food. So we don't see it, we can't touch it. Facebook, oh, look at that, that's why. Look, I'm on something else. So there's survival senses. So there's a lot out here in this plane that's not esoteric. It's not spiritual. It's not anything weird. It's not even dimensional. I just think that it's not food, right? Think about that. Process that. I got to click on this. Process that for a minute. I saw a post that might be pertinent or a pop-up. The only thing that we know is food. That's all we know. All we know is food, and it's gluttony. Do not let gluttony form your reality, was my point. Look at this. Facebook denies Holocaust denial content. That's why y'all was in prison. Look at that right there. Yep, can you see that? Facebook bans Holocaust denial content. And that's why a lot of my friends went to prison who shared my post. And that's why we got out of prison. They let us free. I was suspicious about that to begin with, because I was thinking about that, and it's just like, why in the world would your warden let you go free? And so they probably had software that was just tracking any content, because a brother sent me a message and he said that he got put in Facebook prison for putting a picture of Bittner up. So they are highly shutting down on that denial content right now. So I would highly suggest, if you want to keep your voice, to just leave the whole Bittner topic alone. Or if you do, you have to be very spelling out of what you mean. So they're going after that. And that's what they're going to do because it's their platform. All right. Let's put on the going away music. Is that the right one? No, that's not it. The last couple comments, quick as I can, then I gotta go. Slavery. I've got them North American cheekbones. Okay, thank you for that. The Drake equation. Yes, Paul Bradley. I did Google it. Drake equation was interesting until the Hubble, until the mathematics proved that if there's infinite dimensions, infinite life forms and things that we can't eat that aren't even in other dimensions, we just can't see them and can't process them. There's infinite galaxies and dimensions and planets, and most suns have multiple Earth-like planets, but life isn't just on Earth-like planets. Then it's an impossibility that we're even close to being alone. The galaxy is full of life. Full of life. We are only alone in our own little narcissistic heads. What's out there is not significant to us, perhaps, or we're not significant to it, maybe because it can't eat us. Maybe it's evolved out of eating. Maybe there are a whole bunch of good reasons. Maybe it wants to let us evolve along our own plane, and it only interacts when we're about to kill each other. We're about to destroy the planet. What's that? Matthew. I've been looking at horror stories on YouTube lately. We've only been able to explore about 10% of the ocean. There's something living at the depths that can bite an adult blue whale in half. Yes, Matthew. And I'm going to need the link for that. I love sea mysteries because we know nothing about the sea. I like the one with the footprints. It's got the footprints that are like 7 feet across and are like 18 feet apart or something. There's some massive leviathan that lives under there, walks under there. But you know, it's not like the early colonial colonizers didn't tell us that. They told us we went out in that ocean, man. I ain't never going out. You had sailors that came back, they saw something so vicious, they were like, nope, I'm done. I went out there not only because of Admiralty law, and I got on the boat and I had to list that I was like an American. I was DOA. I had to put my name in all caps because y'all know that's where that came from, right? It was from the early sailors. There's so many people died when they got in them ships that they had to just say I was dead. If who was that? Riley. If Riley J was getting on the boat, she had to put her name in all caps because I'm dead. Because the bankers and the East India trading companies and the shipping company, they wanted to own everything that you own because you was probably gonna die on that ship. Part of it, Matthew, is probably because we don't know what's in that damn ocean. Every now and then wants to come up there and crunch on some chips and get the juicy human beings on the inside. But also it was so dangerous, which is interesting. Getting back to Riley, your post from this weekend, that we have to put our names in all caps because we're dead at birth. That's why on your birth certificate, your name is all capitals. Because you don't have a government. You have a governing corporation and it views you as already being dead. And it's not too far from the truth, because if you're born in America, one of the NATO countries, you are in a conflict-based system and you die, life is going to go on. They're not going to care too much. They're going to keep it going. You're dead at birth. I think we need to live in a world where we have a government, or no government, but whatever's above us, if we have anything above us, it actually thinks that we're alive at birth. And on our birth certificates, we have lowercase. Send me the link, Matthew. I'm going to check it out. We know nothing about that ocean. And I do believe that octopuses are probably aliens. Probably are. Where do I see myself in 5 years, you ask? A padded cell. No, Riley, don't go. Slavery's a choice. Don't go. Kanye West was right about that. Slavery is a choice. Don't even know. You come from me, you need to just go ahead and bring a body bag because you're not taking me alive. that's how I get down. That's how I get down. Do I see myself in a FEMA cap? Only when it's funny. Only when it's funny. I tell people, yeah, when they come for me in FEMA, I'm bringing my Betamax and my tapes because I got the whole Star Trek Next Generation and I still got the Betamax. Yeah, I'm going to bring that. We're going to watch videos in FEMA Camp 12. I joke and I laugh. You ain't taking me alive. It's never going to happen, right? You ain't never gonna get me living with animal or infant tissue in my bloodstream, in my veins. You ain't never injecting none of that junk trash in me. And you ain't never gonna put me in no padded cell. You can kill me at the door. I told you that. I told them, put everybody on notice. The minute y'all come to get me with the paddy wagon, you don't need to bring the paddy wagon. You need to bring the hearse. I have no time for slavery. I'm gonna live free and alive. I am not a part of your colonizer, Babylonian, psychopathic, injecting people, slave plantation. My name is Kunta. Okay, Kunta Kinte. My name is not Toby. All right. Thank the universe for whistleblowers. Yes, Jackie, I'll post a link. You can watch it. I thank the universe for every whistleblower. Knowing the majority are just nurses and doctors and police officers and NSAers and just regular everyday people who let things slip. Because the majority of whistleblowers, y'all do realize they're not famous. The vast majority, the most devastating whistleblowers are quiet. Which is why the people in Homeland Security are watched most by Homeland Security. And the people in the CIA watched most by the CIA and FBI. And the people in the NSA watched most by... Why? Because they're the most dangerous people. They work from behind the curtains and letting people know that there's something behind this curtain. It ain't what you think. And then you got the bigger whistleblowers who come out. And those are the ones who risk life and limb. The biggest problem they got keeping this planet colonized, Jackie, is the fact that human beings run all these systems. That's the problem. That's why they got the robots coming, because human beings, they develop consciousness every now and again. A lot of the so-called whistleblowers are government agents spreading disinformation to control the narrative. Absolutely right, Paul Brady. No question about that, because I know they're doing that. That's what I would do. And you have to make this all seem crazy. If you can't make it seem crazy, people will believe it. I don't doubt that one bit. Gee, you were talking about religions. Okay, and they're all kind. Okay, Pastafarians got that. The Great Void. Ooh, Susan Jewel. You know I'm trying to leave. Don't you be bringing up no damn Great Joy. The Great Void. The Great Void is interesting. Y'all know what that is? Damn it. Goodness gracious. I hate it when people know me well enough to get me to stop. Hang on. I had to go to the Great Void. The Great Void is awesome. I did a video. I think with Susan, it was probably before I even met you. The Great Void. That's the place in space where there's nothing. There are a lot of good theories about what is there. The Great Void, right here. Isn't it crazy? This Joker is crazy. It's a good thing it's raining on the plantation. I got time to play a little bit. Okay, there you go. It's the Great Void. So this was another view into space, right? Where it just made no damn sense. So there were galaxies and solar systems and everything everywhere, but in this one spot, shaped like a kidney, there was nothing. Nothing. It's a game that we played as kids on Sesame Street, like one of these things is just like the other. One of these things just isn't the same. If one of these things is not like the others, now it's time to play this game, cause obvious AI. That didn't rhyme, but that's my theory. My theory is there's something in that void that does not play well with other children. Something in that void does not play well with the universe, the solar systems. It doesn't play well with the other species, and it's out of control. Somebody made some AI. That space has a Jeff Bezos. That space has a Mark Zuckerberg. That space got a whole bunch of monkeys. And this is why the aliens sent us craft. They sent us the ships to let us to create the free energy so we grow the hell up, stop voting to steal other people's resources with these governments and colonizers, and because they don't want that to happen. They don't want that to happen. They don't want all of your technology to be based in Cold War mission statements and DARPAs to create things that eventually is going to kill you and it's going to replicate and go kill everybody else. That's the Great Void. That's why the aliens, they're trying to help us. Uh-oh, wait a minute, hang on. That might be fake news. That might be fake news. Hang on, look at this. Ooh, Susan Jewel, you spreading fake news. Hang on. I might have to throw all that back out. Look at this. It didn't come up. It didn't come up. Uh-oh. I can show you another way. It's a picture of the Great Void. It's not actually empty space. Wait a minute. But then again, this picture could be fake. Hold on. I can't show it to you. I'm gonna have to make another view because it's not coming up. Hang on. View the full image. It's the fun part about fake news. Uh-oh. No. Let's get off of that. No. This is a bad website. No, I do not click. When you click on a website and advertisements and pop-ups and links and lines and all that stuff start coming up, you're going to get a virus. That's when you got to put a condom on to go to that page. No, I ain't going to that page. Hold on, let me show you this. Being an IT professional will teach you to not go to many websites. We don't go to many websites. Look at this. And we do not use the internet on our phone. You can ask somebody else why. Look right here. Look at this. Is this fake news? It says, and I can't click on the link because I am not going to that page, but it says it isn't empty space. It is indeed a something. So I don't know if somebody superimposed some pictures. Maybe it's just an open space. Or they're, are those invisible planets? Are those invisible solars? I don't know what that is. Somebody has to research that and tell me. So maybe it's empty. Maybe it's invisible. Ooh, so maybe it's not empty space. It's just people hiding from us. That's where the evolved aliens are. They won't let us. It's like if aliens come to Earth, you'll only see the aliens who want to be seen. You're not going to see the ones that don't want to be seen. It's like when people come to your house, these deep state people, if the special forces, if they don't want to be seen, you ain't not going to see them. And I'm not talking about ghillie suits. They have invisible suits. They've had those for a long time. So I don't know. That might be fake news. It might be something in that space where they have cloaking devices because they did not want the monkeys to know where they're at. There are aliens who will send you ships to help you to create free energy so you'll stop having governments and politics and power and discover consciousness. And there are aliens who just be like, nope, we don't even want to be a part of this. Nope, I hadn't seen this before. And they just create them cloaking devices. And they meet the solar systems around them and they do the cloaking too. Like, yeah, we do not want to be a part of this Federation thing. All right, the golden rule. Yes, Elaine. If I'm not going to misspeak it, do unto others as you want done to you. Simple as that. I know many who have. It is not a metaphor, just a fun fact. I'm not sure, Paul, you respond to somebody else. Ooh, oh, Amber, oh, Lord, I see them 4-letter words. I believe that there's other dimensions as well as galaxies. What's your thoughts on CERN? That's a 4-letter, that's a nasty, nasty word, Amber Wilson Jetta. And time travel, and I'm hoping maritime laws will end with Gersa, Nasera, get implemented. I hope so. I'm hesitant on Gersa, Nasara. They've been talking about it for a long time. They never implement it, so we'll see what happens. My thought on CERN is everybody needs to watch The Mist. If you have not watched The Mist, there are multiple versions of how we hashtag all gonna die messing around with things that we don't understand. The Mist is in a movie form, and it's in a TV show form. That's what I think of CERN. Opening up dimensions is not a good. Oh, you know what? There's another one too. What's the other one with the kids? The Upside Down and the Demogorgon. That one too was about CERN too. Those are my thoughts on CERN. Is Stranger Things and The Mist in the movie version and the TV show. That's my thought. Is the Christmas Story. You'll shoot your eye out. That's my thought. My thought is I love technology. I love engineering and advancement, but it's got to be done open source. We still monkeys and we like bananas and mortgages and fast cars, and you can't let a bunch of geeks work for maniacal family, trillionaire families creating any damn thing. Everything needs to be open sourced. Everything. Absolute. CERN we should do, but every world scientist should be focused on it. I'm fine with, I don't have any even problem with vaccines, but all the damn scientists in the world, I want all of them. All of them. And I still ain't gonna do it. CERN, do that. All of them. Everybody get together on the multiple dimensions, open it, blah, blah, blah. But Demogorgon is probably on the other side. Oh! That's my thought. Oh! I don't want that. I don't want that. I like to fight things that I can hit. I like to know where your jaw is at. And I need to know where the pinnacle at, because I might need to knee it, fake it. I'm not, no, the Demogorgon, yeah, no idea. Does anybody know his pinnacle is? Does he even have a pinnacle? The tally knocker, that's what I'm talking about. We don't even know if he got one. How do I know where I'm supposed to swing, hit, and if it's got a spike on this? I might be trying to fight the Demogorgon from the CERN and hit and knee that thing up, and it's got a needle that impregnates me, and then I have a baby that's an alien that comes out my ear or something. No, that's my take on it. I'm fine with all technology and advancements. You keep it to you, to yourself, don't force it on me, and we're good to go. I'm a natural human being. And you asked about one other thing. Oh, but the comment rolled up. All right, it's all relative illusion, hosted by Jerry. Yes, this is a green screen. This is my false reality, like the U.S. government has is false too. It's all, I create a green screen every morning. The Rothschilds and Rockefellers created a false government. Governing corporation always works on the way. All right. Hey, good morning, Christine. Let me get down. Jackie said, if you have been taking your vaccines, then you have been injected with animal DNA. Well, Jackie said, now you didn't said it. I was actually thinking about that this weekend too, Jackie. Just common sense. Like, y'all gotta stop these war on nature. I don't understand why you're at war with nature. You're part of nature, people. It is not natural to have animal tissue injected in you. You don't need animal tissue injected in you or infant tissue. You don't need mercury, thimerosal, aluminum, none of these things. I'm not against technologies. I just believe that if we're going to make a thing, that thing has to work. And you're never going to have for-profit corporations make anything that's effective, because they got ROI, return on investment. They're going to spend as little as possible to make as much money as possible. You need to first free the world. You need to create, you need to release free energy technology, so that all these kids that want to be scientists and doctors and all this stuff, they work on these things and they get it perfected. Nobody's in a rush. We don't need to, because we're not poisoning anybody with glyphosate, water, air, all the carcinogens and Coca-Cola. We're not doing that to nobody. So people stop dying of causes that they shouldn't die from. And then all these kids around the world grow up, you know, working on things because they love working on them, not because they need it to buy a car. And eventually it might make something that'll save everybody's life when an asteroid comes here and lands and the cuckoo virus comes out from from the asteroid, starts infecting people with flus that aren't natural. Okay? That's when we might need them vaccines. As far as the natural flu, you're supposed to get the common cold. You're supposed to get every single year, you're supposed to get it. And if you get sick and people start dying, then obviously on a mass scale, somebody is poisoning your population. You're supposed to get the flu every single year. All right, the name Christ literally means appointed one. Thank you, Christ Henderson. Somebody needs to be appointed to help the monkeys, because the monkeys obviously cannot help themselves. If that freaks you out, wait till you are skinning GMO rats for dinner in winter. No, Susan, I'm not worried about that. I told you, I'm looking at distillers. Somebody need to help me. I got a lot of people who live out in the mountains here. I know y'all know how to make moonshine and jungle juice. We're gonna need moonshine and jungle juice when the economy collapses and people, aliens and zombies are in the street. So no, I will eat a rat. I'm a vegetarian, Susan, but I ain't got no issue with it on jungle juice. The jungle juice is any damn thing that'll ferment, that goes in your belly, that just makes you see anything. It'll be a rat, but it's gonna taste like salad. It's gonna be a rat, but it's gonna taste like tofu when I'm drunk and high enough that I won't have any issue. But no, I'm not worried about that. Cause I'm gonna buy a distiller, if not this week. I'm gonna make a choice this week. I need to talk to some people about what's the good ones. That's not correct, Gerard. Your math is flawed. Paul Brady, are you still on this? Are you still trying to say with infinite possibilities there are not infinite possibilities? Is that what you're trying to say? Literally, there are infinite possibilities to all the planets and solars. We have not found the end of the universe and the galaxy. The mathematics doesn't exist to say that we are alone. Everything we have says there are infinite possibilities, and infinite possibilities, there's no finiteness, brother. It's just, you can try, but 2 plus 2 is always going to equal 4. It's not going to equal 82. In infinite possibilities, nobody knows. We don't know. The odds that we are alone are so remote, there is no mathematics for it. The universe is mental. I think so, Christ. Oh, and it was mental illness week. Did y'all? No, day. Did y'all see that? It was mental illness day. Did y'all say a prayer for your government? It was this weekend. It was mental illness day. The mental illness awareness day was this weekend. I think it was Friday or Saturday. Sign of a possible level 5 intelligent species. Possible, Susan, or just a level 82 species that's hiding from us that don't know. They don't want visitors. It's like I hide alien as above, so below. As above, I know you get that. Somebody just got that. Who laughed? I know you got it. As above, so below. Somebody come knocking on your door. Maybe we got that mortgage, that rent man coming for that rent. The water man, that neighbor that just kind of constantly coming to your door. You sometimes gotta hide your universes, don't you? You can close them blinds, turn that light off, turn the TV. Shh, we're not home. Park the car in the garage. It's the same damn thing as the void. Because apparently it's a bunch of stuff. There's a whole bunch of life there, but they don't want you to know that they're home. All right, you know about foraging for shrooms here? Question mark. Deborah asked that question. Susan Jewell does know about it. Christ knows ish about it. Ish. So if you're gonna go foraging, you probably want to go with Susan. You might want to gotta have a backup. You gotta have Christ on the list too. If you don't want to go with me, Deborah, you go with me, you're gonna die. We are all gonna die. You come mushroom harvesting with me, I guarantee you, they say all mushrooms are edible. Some, the ones you get with Gerard, you only gonna eat once. And after that, you're not gonna be worried about mushrooms, food, oxygen, air, or life ever again, because you're gonna be back in your spiritual form. But you're gonna see a whole bunch of crazy colors first. Things are gonna be jumping, trying to get you, you know. We're gonna be fighting them, and then just all kind of vomit stuff come out your mouth and nose and your anus ain't gonna stop, and you just it's gonna be a closed casket. There's gonna be juice everywhere. But yeah, Susan does know about that. Christ knows about it pretty good too. I'm just joking, but don't ever go with me. Every picture I post, people say it's poisonous mushrooms. So yeah. I think the body just detoxes the poisons. What detoxes what poisons, Kia? Not the ones the government make, not in laboratories. They got that thing now. You know, they got that patented thing where they just touch you and you die. They had some sort of bacteria, I guess it is, that they can just touch you. Your lords and colonize everybody. Everybody keep voting for it. There's people that don't like us. They keep making technology to kill us. They can just touch you in a crowd, and just apparently one touch of this one bacterial thing and it'll kill you. So I think it's a bad idea to vote for that. That's what I kind of think. All right, I'm look on YouTube real quick. Wall Street, all of them. Yeah, Wall Street is a criminal. It's a criminal guild, Miss Street. It needs to come down. All they do is steal things from people and try to sell stolen goods. But my dad was on the ground in World War II. I bet you he has stories, Miss Street. You know what broke my heart? Somebody told me a story from World War II. Oh, you know what? It might have been World War I. I forgot. But it goes along with that statement that the spoils of all war has always been women. There was a brother I've met. He explained. He said in World War, I don't think it was 1, because that would make him like 100. Last year, I think I mentioned. He said that they went. No. I take it back. No, he read a book. Somebody wrote a book, and I posted the book. That. It's on my book list, on my profile, that they would go town to town to town. He said every town that they went to after, it was not when it was overrun, but when they took it back, that you'd have just women's bodies everywhere, and they weren't dressed. So it was obvious what happened to them. Women have always been the spoils of war. And there are no good guys and bad guys in war. You have psychopaths A fighting psychopaths B, and that's what boot camp is for, is turning on the warrior genes, turning up the aggression, turning down the fear. Dr. James Fallon, Psychopath Inside, read that book. And that the Allies went from town to town, and because you had these warring kids that they were raping, which shouldn't surprise anybody. Shouldn't surprise anybody. But all the good reasons for war to go away. And the only reason war, like all social conflict, racial conflicts, class conflicts, national conflicts, they're all based in energy. And if anybody has technology that is obviously free energy and they're flying around the planet, our number one priority is to make the discussion about ending violence, which ends rape, which ends all the other things that we should have got rid of a long time ago. And there was something else on that I wanted to mention. Too many things on my mind. Anybody not talking about that is a problem. That's what I'm gonna say. After World War II, a multitude of German women were raped as a punishment. Gabrielle in every damn war. There is nobody who is hashtag saving the children, who is promoting war or behind those in the United States Incorporated is dropping bombs on people and blowing up environments. Most humans being trafficked around the planet come from war zones. We got to figure that out, people. We got to figure that out. War has to be no more, but we have to understand war is attached to their economics, how Jackie said it, their economics. They literally starve populations to keep them at war with one another. I voted down ballot because I want to see the Cory Bush as my rep. I wrote my dog in as president for mail-in ballot. That goes in the garbage. Yeah, I did last time, Mary. Well, last time I voted Green Party. The time before that I voted, I think it was either Bart Simpson or Homer Simpson. I don't remember which, but he didn't win, I'm pretty sure. But now for me, it's about consent. Now, where I resonate, it's time for us to remove our consent completely. So I don't have anything to do with the system at all. Don't care who the slave master is, keeping rape and human trafficking and child trafficking and sex trafficking thriving and prolific with war, pretending that they're going to help people like in Syria. War is never to go help anybody. War is always a racket. It always has been and it always will be. And the only reason we fight it is because we still believe that fossil fuels are the level of technology we are at. Yeah, don't you just love how we have to limit what we say? It's a good thing that they limit us, Kia, though. It lets us know who really's got the power, who's really in control, and what they really stand for. The most powerful people on this planet have no interest in reducing human conflict. I should tell everybody all they need to know about the political system. We went to Oklahoma and made them rich on pot sales to screw Texas, smoke up and get high, cowboy. All right, Jimmy T. I was leaning to be a bit more concise in what I say, though. Okay, y'all are going back and forth. YouTube is becoming MSN, just as many other platforms. Yeah, they are. True. All right, good. All right, about to get out of here. The great void, the shadow within us, as above, so below. Yes. Can anyone ID Hen of the Woods? I cannot, Deborah. I have no idea what you're talking about. Come on, Gerard. Indian scientists find out that all creation started at the void. Ooh. That might make some sense. So if all life started there, that was the root creator, then yeah, it could be. And all life spread out from that. That's possible. I would have said it was the center of the universe, but maybe they evolved the quickest. They found the highest technology, and like a good parent during the lockdown decided to hide from their children. This is why they make door locks for bedrooms, right? The parents decided, yeah, we're gonna watch, but we do not want y'all watching us. So they created a way to hide from the children. My kids used to, when they were real getting active and young, Christine, they get to fighting each other back and forth. And, he did this, and he took this, and he got my cookie, and this is my ice cream. And He's like, you know what? Y'all just need to go ahead and fight and figure it out. I go hide in my room, just like, you know what? I don't even, not right now. Not even right now. Y'all just need to just fight it out. I'm gonna go hide in the void. So it's possible. It's possible. You got a link for something. I always look at it, Christine. My computer is so infected. Yes, Riley, because you go to them website to tell you truthful things. It's like Paul said, it's controlled opposition. They put viruses on the website to tell you about admiralty and corporations. They set up sites and put truthful information on it and put viruses on it because they know you're gonna click on it. And they don't care that you find out the truth because they get that virus STD on your laptop. We are all alone, like to sink in. Okay, Paul, we're all alone. I'm good with that. I'm good with what anybody believes. Not in my reality, but in your reality, we can be alone. Thanks. I will post my photo on Facebook. Ooh, Deborah, what photo you got? You got a UFO? The UFOs want the good weed. The government does not grow or control any longer. I don't know, Jimmy T. I think the UFOs sent the weed. I think they brought weed and mushrooms and things here to help people have consciousness. I think those are ways to tap into levels of consciousness and remove conflict from people, because weed calms people down and psychedelics make people want to tap into aliens and other universe and dimensional things. I think they brought it here. Ooh, Lord. There was another video of a 60-foot whale. What? Hang on, I gotta go. I really got. I can stop looking at this. This is my problem. I can't get no work done because I'm trying to do things and people keep sending me interesting. Oh, damn it! There you go. Oh, that's Matthew. All right, cool. I got it. I'll look at that later. I'm not gonna look at it now. He's laughing because he just saw I looked at it. I always see the pop-ups. All right, I gotta go. You can live on vibrations. I think so, Christine. I think you can live on mana too. My dad was an MP in World War II, in which at that time, in that war meant you were also an on-the-ground medic as well. He rode, I can barely read that. He rode, I look like dinosaurs, but it's not. I got bad eyes. He rode one of those dangerous three-wheelers and crushed the freak out of his leg when it flipped. Yeah, because they should not exist, Miss Tree. You should not have a world where people lose legs. You're making me think of something. You should not only have war where people lose legs, but you shouldn't have worlds that make traps. You shouldn't have governments that make traps. It reminds me of a quote that the lady said in the movie last night I watched with my son called The Tenant. I know I mentioned that before because this is the second time I watched it. This is what happens. My son wanted to go see it, so I took him last night. He didn't even know I already saw it before, but I just pretended like I didn't see it because it's not a conversation we need to get into. So I watched it again. It's a movie that you probably need to see 5 times before you actually get it. You cannot go to sleep. You cannot dream of Facebook and aliens, free energy. You cannot drift. You got to pay attention in this damn movie. Good movie. But in the movie, the lady had a quote. She said, she asked, I don't know if she asked, but I forgot the details. It was something to the effect of when animals get trapped, they'll eat off their leg to get away. And I kind of shared that and bastardized the quote. And I think I asked the question to people is why, if you smell that something ain't right, why do you keep going into the same trap? If you smell your government ain't right, they little rank, like a face diaper or something, a little rank, like need to get something changed. Why do we keep going into these traps? I don't understand that. If people are posting stuff about the Washington D.C. Act of 1871 and the 200 families rule the planet and the traps smell like somebody's face diaper that's got loner face diapers, because they actually have loner face diapers. Somebody posted that. They have loner face diapers. If something ain't smelling right and all the world's governments are shut down by the same organization that just snap his finger like that, and every world government bows, bends the knee, and gives up their economy for the common cold, if it don't smell right, why do we keep going into the same damn trap and then the next generation got to gnaw their leg off to get out the trap? That's just crazy. So that was I think that was her question. She said something about, would you gnaw your leg off to get out of a trap? And I'm just thinking maybe we should just be educated enough to not going into the same damn trap. Maybe we should like really process whether or not voting and elections are actually the same damn thing. Maybe we should just realize that our body's trying to give us a message with sniffles and boogers and snot and inflammation, which is what they are. That you live in a lifestyle that's not sustainable. That you have something on this planet called the flu through virus theory that you're supposed to get every damn year. And if 30,000 people start dying of it, that you need to stop poisoning the people. You need to stop having advertisements on television that make people so deathly ill and sick that they can't even live in the ecosystem and nature that they are a part of. Maybe we need to get a clue. IFO 2020, IFO 2020, that's what I believe in. We need to identify the FO for 2020. We don't need to argue about the things that don't matter at all to anybody. People need to be free. Everything we need to do needs to be about freeing the human race. Freeing the human race from ignorance of technology. We need to suspend the Invention Security Act of 1951. We need to grow the hell up. We need to go back to some common sense and realize we're being lied to in all levels.